All right, guys, let's dive into tonight's game. We'll start with a little recap here. Let's see. Wow. Okay. During the last session, we had this basically the second half of an epic battle between your advanced team of infiltrating mercenaries and the Sawajan fortress. Having infiltrated as gaseous form, you had surprised the Sawajan and had started to fight them off in the hopes that you could secure the main entrance, clearing a way for the Keoland Marines to swarm in and attack. Along the way, there was some pretty awesome moves. Most notably, I think, was the trying to defend the portcullis from being closed, and the last second decision by Theo to run into the control room where the Sawajan were pouring in to try to close the portcullis, leaving the rest of your team, who were on the other side of the portcullis. The portcullis then slamming down behind you as you were cut off from your team, the fishmen surrounding you, and then with Irin and Byron's team up on that portcullis trying to break through to get to you, and the natural 20 that was rolled to allow that to happen was pretty awesome. The gate opened, of course, and long story short, you were able to hold the gate until the Marines arrived, swarming through the entrance, giving you a nod, and then going on to ultimately defeat the Sawajan with the help of the alliance that they had forged with the mermen and the lizardmen and the Lokatha. Oh yeah, Loketh, is that how you say it? The Loketh.
I've never actually heard it said out loud.
Yeah. Back on the Good Buddy eventually, after being taken off the battlefield by the Keoland Navy, you eventually made it back to the Good Buddy. The crew very fired up about the success of your mission. You opened up a few casks of brandy and had some conversation discussing your financial situation and sort of the direction that you would potentially be headed next after things in Saltmarsh were wrapped up. Some discussion of the journal entries, and I think that's where we'll pick up, is you guys just about to come into port in Saltmarsh, returning to Saltmarsh, and having the time to have some conversation, if you'd like, about sort of the journal, what your plans are next, and that sort of thing.
I'm gonna leave my cabin, assuming I was in my cabin, and just go and see where everybody is.
Theo is he shares with Irin Coalbiter.
Probably doing push-ups.
Wow, Theo isn't that strong.
Obviously.
I'm gonna go see if I can find Byron.
Oh, I'm on deck.
Oh, okay.
I'm just chilling.
Hey, what do you say we all get together and go discuss what we do when we get back to town? I've been going over this journal, or the entries we've deciphered from Dralian's journal, and I think we should discuss it.
Okay.
So let's go find those other two. Should we go down there?
I bet you're doing push-ups again. I suppose they're probably in their quarters. Let's head over there.
All right.
Then, when she pulled up her dress, you are not gonna. Oh, hi guys.
What are you guys up
Do
to
you
in here?
need a little more time?
No, it's fine. I mean, I could finish.
Just riding this high, from lifting that portcullis like a boss.
That was amazing for the record. Also, I'm pretty sure you single-handedly saved my life, along with the other people. Thus, not making it single-handed because Byron was also giving you a great deal of help. So, but the point is, thank you. I am not dead, and I appreciate that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I wasn't going to open the portcullis by myself.
Hey,
I was saying nice things about you, and you ruined it so quickly.
No, but I mean,
Well-
Irin did.
This conversation got awkward. Hi, Captain. What's going on?
Well, anyways, I figured we'd all get together and discuss what we should do next. I've been looking
Sounds
over.
like a good plan.
I've been looking over what we've deciphered from Dralian's journal so far, and I figured we should discuss. Normally, like, what do you guys think we should do about this Dralian issue? I mean, I'm thinking we should make it a priority when we get back.
Well, I've kind of got it down between a couple suspects now, right? Like the Navy coming in, specifically the captain and the first mate of the Myrmidon, approached him and almost were accusatory towards him. And
Right.
then Anders Solmore, who was repeatedly showing up at his house, sending agents trying to buy his stuff, basically.
Right.
And he was one of our original two names.
Original two names?
It was Kreb, and then it was Anders when the very first time
Right.
we talked to the town council.
Right.
I
'Cause
think
we were
it's
trying
probably
to,
Sniper.
we were trying to figure out who would profit. Now, personally, I'm kind of leaning Solmo Anders. Simply because in the journal, he talks about how there have been inquiries into the whereabouts of the map from parties in Gradzul and Nile Draw. And so I'm wondering if the Navy came and asked him about lost maps and artifacts because of that. Like, maybe they're just kind of a couple steps behind him and trying to figure out,
Here's the other thing. Dralian was the one with the large network of people trading number of places, right? Like he was dealing with the governor of Narizben, and he has
Right.
people in Gradzul, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, he set up that business in Narizban as a cover for his expedition to Amedio
Yes, I know,
for
but
the Seekers. Yeah.
here's where I'm going with Solmore. Isn't Solmore just a little shit who's a local fish baron?
Right. Like,
Well, he also bought all of the Dralian stuff recently, didn't he?
well, he wants
He's been
to.
after it for a while.
Yes, but
his
that's-
sister sell to him yet?
She said she was meeting with him and planning on it.
And then
They had
just
business
recently,
to finish.
her bodyguard was killed. Right?
Not killed, but attacked.
Yeah,
Oh,
attacked by a 7-foot tall man who's
a tall
left-handed.
guy who we think is left-handed.
exactly. Who
Do we
could
know
have
that?
been the sniper that was shooting at us the night that Myler Orvid was being kidnapped? Who, for the record, Myler Orvid also one of the people that went and talked to Dralian.
I've been thinking about that actually, because originally our plan was to help out Kreb, right?
Well, it was to get in with Krev to see what he knew about the whole issue.
So what if Kreb was investigating Myler Orvid for us, and
For us.
we went and shot him in the foot? Because remember, we were doing that to get into his good graces.
No, Kreb, a man like Kreb is not doing anything for anyone but himself. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he probably would have let on a little bit to Theo if that were the case.
he
But
was
he was all like,
definitely
"You
higher.
have to prove yourself to me if you want to get work from me, etc." Or was that you, Byron? I can't remember now.
No,
was-
it was
It was Theo.
Theo.
Yeah.
So just
I don't know.
walk with me, talk with me, think with me for a second.
Mhm.
So we have a third party in town. We know that, we know there's a third party in town. We also know there is the the Navy in town.
Yep.
We know that the Navy and this unknown third party all were very interested in Dralian's work. We know that whoever this third party is has contacts outside of Saltmarsh. We know that in Saltmarsh there is something called the Brotherhood that has at least a couple of people working for it because the vampire told us. So, the only way I could see that Solmore is actually the man that was involved in the killing, and I doubt he did any killing, would be if he is working with or for this third party. The question is, how do we determine that or prove that?
Can I offer
Well, I
a
think it
different
might.
option?
Yeah, go ahead.
What if it, I mean, no offense, Byron, but what if none of that shit matters? Like, yes, it's unfortunate that Dralian was killed. I get it. But, like, maybe some of these strings aren't really the threads we think they are. Maybe Solmore wants Dralian's business because he wants his business.
Right.
And this other shit has to do with this map. And so maybe the Navy wasn't necessarily after Dralian, but realistically, these specific people from the Navy were after the map. And maybe we need to go abroad if that's the real caper, right?
Well, and that's another thing is he says that he sent along Atreus's map fragment with instructions to Solana on the Emperor of Waves.
To Narisman.
Yeah, and it was on its way to Narisban. And he also says he sent along a sizable investment to secure his stake, and that it was the bulk of his fortune with the map fragment. And then he was praying that Solana could recover the other fragments so that they could find Tomoe-chan.
What's in the box?
So that's what I'm wondering is maybe the box either contains this sizable investment that he sent to the south that was the bulk of his fortune, or it has the map in it.
I could try to open the box again if you want.
Yeah, I mean,
Theo, or Byron, weren't you trying to open it with some mad secret words before?
Read some
flibbly
words.
gibbly.
I think Theo tried some like magic stuff on it.
Mm-hmm.
I can always try it again.
I mean, we don't have anything to lose.
Okay, please. Would you Theo goes and locks the doors. If you want to, and I'm going to say this, and I know how it sounds, but just go with it.
No, I got
Whip that thing out. We'll, get going.
Take my shirt off.
All right, I'll take
Hi-yo.
the whole thing and I'll tip it over and I'll start dumping it out, like jump up on the table and like
Falls
pull
onto
on-
the
pull it
onto
off
the wooden floor. This blue metallic shimmering box.
And again, just to refresh memory, it doesn't have any obvious seams or hinges or anything.
Nope.
right?
Completely smooth all the way around on every aspect.
You can't perceive any kind of writing anywhere.
Nothing. It's like just a box, about the size of
It's like a cube.
Once more, Theo is going to manifest the sword. He's going to lay the sword across the box. He's going to concentrate, begin muttering arcane words, and little runes are going to light up along the blade in different places, and he will once again cast Dispel Magic upon it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Make a roll to dispel magic.
Does he have to roll?
Mm-hmm.
If it's higher than 3rd level, which I assume it is.
Yep.
Do I get my proficiency bonus, or is it just D20 plus stat?
It is a D20 plus your spellcast. I think it's. Hold on, let's see.
Make an ability check using your spellcast.
Spellcasting ability,
Yeah.
which does, I believe, include your proficiency.
Okay, then here we go.
19.
It's not terrible.
Nice. No, that's not
not bad.
terrible.
That's really fucking good.
That's really fucking good. You guys watch as Theo weaves his magic with the attempt to dispel the magic of this cube, this whatever the security measures are that are holding it closed, and the box just sits there and nothing happens.
I am beginning to think this isn't a fucking box, guys. Just saying.
It's the decoy cube. What else did you leave on that ship?
And have we tried to pick it up and see if anything rolls around inside of it?
Shake it.
Shake
Nobody
it.
can lift it high enough to shake.
It's really heavy. I mean, you could certainly try.
This thing's pure adamantium.
And there's no way this thing factors into that strange device we found.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm having a sudden thought. Remember that they're looking for Ulman ruins. It's all in the Amedio Peninsula. It's from a place called Tamoajan. What if this is literally a brick from a building there? A magic brick. I'm terrified by everything I just said out loud for the record, but...
What if it's just magical catapult ammunition?
You keep saying that.
It just crossed my mind. It keeps crossing my mind.
You need to
No,
put
this thing-
that one away.
This thing was so important that he sent a ship full of people, you know,
Most of who died.
most of who died, getting to recover this at great cost, like a lot of money. 10,000 gold. So that was just to pick it up and bring it back. It's gotta do something.
I mean, that it makes sense that whatever this is that. And obviously I wasn't there, but like, if this is just a decoy, like,
No.
it's not like we can go. You said the thing was taken down by a sea monster.
Yeah, as far as I know, I don't
Okay.
really know what caused the boat, the Emperor of the Waves, to sink. It was half sunk when I got there, and it got attacked by a sea monster while I was there. But, you know, I don't know if that's why it went down to begin with.
Well, but I mean, I guess maybe it didn't go all the way down later.
No, I
Either
mean,
way, it's probably
Rhunar
at the bottom.
Rhunar would remember that the whole ship was destroyed by the sea monster.
Yeah.
We narrowly escaped.
So
way,
if this isn't it, then
this may be it. We're assuming that
Yeah.
Dralian knew what it was. He may not have had a clue. Like literally, and we don't know until we maybe get more translation done, but
That's
for
true. There's
all
still
we
a lot.
know, this was they brought back something from Tamoajan.
wait. So what if this is a piece of the? Is this a piece of the map?
Well,
I mean,
I
it's
was
the
thinking it
weirdest map
either.
ever.
I was thinking either it had a ton of money inside, or it has the map fragment inside from Atreus.
Going to toss this out here from my understanding of spellcraft, and the roll I just made. Any ensorcelment that is on this, would have been dealt with if it were the work of mortals. Straight up out of character, I rolled enough to dispel a 19th level spell.
Which don't exist.
Or,
A
sorry,
ninth-
a 9th level.
A ninth
spell.
level spell.
So this is deep mojo, whatever is on this.
Or yeah,
Although, hold on for a second, and Theo blinks his eyes several times, and they turn bright blue. Is the item still magical?
It is.
Detect magic.
Yes, it is.
So,
Oh, that would be hilarious.
yeah, no, it should be like, oh no, you just dispelled whatever was on it, but nothing happens. Okay.
Theo fucked us by dispelling the magical space distortion thing that held the piece inside of it, and now it's just a chunk of metal.
Look, I was not ruling that out. So,
I would have done that if I was the DM. That's what I would have done.
whatever this is powerful on the way of, you know, sorcerers, wizards, and enchanters with big names and gods and types of things. So this is potent.
Right.
So we should not write it off as useless or perhaps, you know,
Exactly.
ammunition for a catapult. And he just looks at Byron. Obviously, was important.
Okay.
But
So the box is a mystery yet to be solved, and I have a feeling it's somewhere in this journal.
Who is Armand? Have we?
You know who Armand is, Byron.
Yeah, Armand is your guy in the Seekers.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
you
my
would
gosh.
know. You would know him.
Yep, I do.
So here's the thing. Byron, you know, since you've arrived in Saltmarsh, you've kind of helped us out. I figured the least we can do is help him resolve this Dralian issue. Now, how exactly we do that, I guess I don't know. I think we should... Go ahead, sorry.
Here's the other thing. Remember when we were in port last and we heard that there were people asking about us?
Mm-hmm.
I got a lead. It's the people asking about us. Just gonna put that out there.
It's the people... You think it's the people that are asking about us? Like
Why would
have...
they be asking about us from out of town and be kind of shifty if it wasn't involved in all of this mess? We are not that important, guys.
And it did kind of coincide with that secret room in Dralian's place being broken into and the guard being attacked and whatnot.
Yeah. Yes.
The thing is, we won. We won that investigation.
Yeah,
We have
always got
all of
there
this
first.
information, but I don't know like how to decipher all of it.
Right.
We find the people who were looking for us and ask them what they're after and start there, maybe. It's the best I can come up with, other than breaking into Saltmarsh to see if there's anything there couldn't hurt, other than if we get caught, that's gonna suck a lot.
Why don't we set a trap?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think the Somor thing is, I mean,
With ourselves as bait.
I don't know that that's a good avenue.
would you say the Saltmarsh thing is a red herring?
I don't know about a red herring, but it's at least I would have to think a legal dead end.
Right, because we would have to... We need some kind of proof.
Like, and I don't want to go fucking
And the time between journal entry 12 and now,
apeshit on this guy.
Yeah.
like we're talking 10 entries. Could be 10 days. Could be
Right.
15 if he doesn't journal every day.
Maybe him and Saltmarsh had a nice cup of tea in the meantime, and he's gonna mention, "Oh, we're now best friends, and he's helping me with a secret project, and that's why I'm giving him some of my stuff." We don't know.
Right.
Right.
But I mean, maybe you're right though. Maybe we need to get a little more public. And
Yeah, here's the thing. I think this
meet
time
these-
we don't...
meet these people.
Yeah, I think we set up a night or an early evening, or yeah, maybe a night where we kind of linger around a pub and don't go back to the boat and see who shows up. If
I mean,
you
what
know,
about
if they're in town and they're looking for us, they're probably gonna find us,
what about this? You know,
and we,
everyone's gonna know that we're just getting back from
Yeah.
whatever we left to do with the Navy. Like a town like Saltmarsh, it's people are gonna know, right? So we get back, we send the crew out into town, tell them to like, oh yeah, the guys, they're we just got back, we did all this stuff, we got this money, the guys are gonna be, the captains are gonna be out at blah 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 doing this.
You know what would be great for that? The fight night.
I was thinking the same thing. I can't even
Oh,
pick
God.
this up.
Oh, the
Like
fight
we
club
lure
again.
them out to Fight Club.
The problem with the Fight Club as an option for what Irin is saying, because Rhunar, I like your plan 110%. Vampire.
Right.
Yeah, Fight Club isn't really like. I mean, it's a great place to go, but is it like a great place to go to get somebody, to lure somebody in that you're gonna like take advantage of?
Well, it strikes me that if these people are looking to catch us away from the public eye, after Fight Club would be it, because it's out there, it's the middle of nowhere, then people leave at 2 in the morning, where's the town guard, you know? It's where I would ambush someone.
I mean, I guess
We could just go for drinks at the Empty Net and just see what happens.
I mean, yes, drinks at the Empty Net also sounds like a great plan right now.
'Cause
You
shit
go up to
always
the
goes down
temple and
there.
visit your bard, and
Hey,
there's like nobody up that way.
yeah, literally, there's nobody there. That's not a good idea.
Yeah, no, that's the problem, is our bard friend isn't there anymore.
Yeah. Some
We're
of the
caught,
things.
okay.
we're caught in this weird space where all of the really good ideas also involve, did you know we have vampire problems?
Can't forget about that, because it's probably going to come back. I don't know.
They're doing squats.
Okay, let's
I gotta
focus
get
on...
ready for these vampires.
He's gonna want
How-
steak,
how-
not fucking me.
Dave, out of character, how far are we from Saltmarsh now?
You're close. It's in
Like
view.
a day?
No, it's in view. Like you guys are coming
Oh.
into port right now.
Oh, okay.
I just thought we'd give you guys a chance to connect on all these things before we land.
Right, so there's
Yep.
no additional time to go over a journal.
I mean, you could, but it would take up part of the day.
Right.
Yep. Absolutely, you could.
Okay. Well, let's... What do you guys think we should do when we land? Obviously, we go get paid.
Get paid.
See if our ballista's
I'm
done.
gonna send the boys for the ballista.
Nice, the guys.
Yep. Have them... We need to get
Sleep
it
in a
secured
bed.
to the deck somewhere.
I think I should put out one or two more wanted posters and try and get like either a cleric or a medicine woman or something, a
Medicine.
priest, someone to heal us while we're if we're gonna plan on going long adventures.
Sawbones.
Yeah, someone to just chill on the deck. You know, they don't have to do anything except when we're done doing stuff.
All right, but no
They
deck
need to
wizards, all
keep
right?
us alive. No deck wizards.
Well,
We have
I guess
Theo
if
already.
if they can heal people, I guess we can.
He's a necromancer.
No, we are not putting that out into the universe, because the universe will hear us, and it will come for us. Why would you do that?
Didn't say anything. What?
You guys hear the bell from up on the upper deck start ringing. Clang, clang, clang.
Okay, so get paid, take care of business, late night setting a trap at the empty nest?
Yeah, and I think we'll
So-
set it up where, we kind of act a little more drunk than we really are, and maybe have one of us hang back somewhere out of view, in case something goes down.
Ah, yes, the old...
The old
the old
sniper in the
Greyhawk
rafters.
Switch.
I think it's the best bet. I mean, we need to draw them out. We need to. I mean, if we're planning on solving this, we should solve it or abandon it.
Hey,
Right.
this is Irin Coalbiter's idea. Irin Coalbiter saved my damn life. I support it.
I agree.
All right,
Ambush.
so get paid, get the ballista on board, and
Have quote night of revelry at Empty Net
celebration. Heroes welcome.
/ Operation Ambush.
How long was the journey from here to there?
A day and a half.
Okay, so we've had a long rest.
Yes. And as you wrap up your conversation on the lower decks, in the privacy of Irin and Theo's shared quarters, you hear the men above shouting, and you can tell there's some excitement as the ship pulls into port.
That's not good. Come on.
Oh,
Town's on
Is it
fire.
time for me to stand on the foredeck? Like,
I'm the king
What
of
was
the
that?
dregs. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
You guys make your way up to the upper deck, and you can see that you're just passing by two Keoland naval ships, the Myrmidon and the Bannockburn, which have already returned and laid anchor in the port. And as Fritz, currently behind at the helm of the ship, pilots it through the small estuary and into one of the docks. And the men snap to work, furling the sails, jumping off onto the dock and with the ropes and lashing the ship to the dock. As you come to a halt, you can see this portly little fella walking down the dock towards the ship, a fella that you recognize as the portmaster. And he approaches the ship and kind of shouts up and says, "Captain Dag, well, good to see you again, fellas.
it's good to be back.
How long will you be needing this spot here, then?"
I guess at least a couple days.
Okay, 3 days. You can see him jotting things down in a logbook that he's got. We got 50 gold. That's going to be 150 gold pieces to moor here for 3 days.
Can you ask the Navy if they'll cover it for us?
Hell no.
I think they'll cover it for us.
So the Navy isn't even docked. They're out in the water.
Correct.
They're anchored.
Correct.
Can we anchor?
You can do whatever the hell you want. You're the captain of this ship. But if you're going to dock here for a couple days, you're going to have to pay for it. Sorry to tell you. That's how we make a living around here in Saltmarsh.
No, I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm gonna give him. I'm gonna give 150 gold to Fritz
Yeah, Captain.
and tell Fritz to go deal with that guy.
I'm on it. He goes down, and again, these guys know each other pretty well, so it's pretty easy dealing. And Fritz takes care of all the logistics to get you guys safely moored. And you can see the little portmaster seems pretty happy, and Fritz kind of gives him a pat on the shoulder, and he sets off. You also notice that there are two naval men that are standing at the end of the dock. They haven't approached or said anything, but they're just kind of waiting. They're watching the ship.
Hey, Rhunar, do you want me to go talk to the seamen?
Sure.
I do love talking to seamen
I
I
was
keep
wondering what
this
those
joke
guys are up to.
all afternoon. Irin, you want to come with me?
Yeah, let's go everywhere in pairs. I don't think we should split up too much.
No.
Yeah,
Who's
I'll go
your
along.
fighting buddy? Irin's mine today.
And I think Byron and I will come down. You know, I don't know Byron. What are you up to now?
Well, I'm thinking. I mean, if we have some time to kill, I'll probably just chill on the deck with the guys.
All right.
They're off the boat, then I'll just chill on deck.
Okay. I'll hang out near the boat as well.
Okay, so Theo and Irin head off to have a conversation with the guards, the seamen.
Yeah, I'm just going to instruct Fritz that he needs to send a couple guys to go get our ballista.
Aye, Captain. We're on it.
And
You can
was
see
it already
he
paid
sends
for?
Kyle and Korga. It was not paid for yet. No.
It was not paid for. Okay.
We did get
fine.
102 platinum.
Yeah, I know. I'm not too super worried about money right now, but
Okay.
I will give the. I'm assuming they need to pay when they pick it up.
Are you sending them to try to pick it up right now? Is that the idea, or to check in on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if it's ready to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Be picked up and put on the boat. So I guess they could just go find out, and I'll just give them the money now.
Okay. You're going to give him 550 gold? Fair enough. Korg and Kyle kind of look at each other like, oh shit. It is a huge sack of gold coins. You can see Korga just takes a giant gulp.
You know what?
You can see he starts sweating
We
a
should
little
go with
bit.
them. We should go with them.
Then maybe you guys should go.
We'll go with
We
you.
should
I'm
do
gonna,
that.
I'm gonna take
Don't-
the gold back.
Don't give them that much money.
I'm gonna
Me
take
and
the gold
Rhunar will
back.
go check on our list.
Yeah.
Korga's kind of hyperventilating a little bit.
All right, buddy. All right. Now, hold on.
You go
That's
back
a
to the ship.
That's a lot. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of coin.
I want you to hear. I'll take that.
Kind of
You
doubles over
go
a little bit.
You go secure these lines. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
He just starts vomiting.
Too much responsibility.
I want salmon tonight. Dude, go do a little fishing or something.
He goes back on board, and Kyle just kind of smacks him across the back of the head. You pussy. All right, so Irin and Theo, you guys approach the two seamen, and they kind of snap to attention. They both have swords at their sides. They have nice Keoland naval studded leather armor on, and a leather helm.
Don't you two just look like the finest soldiers we have seen all day? Also, the only ones, but that is not the point. How can we be of service?
Well, we are here to request the presence of Captain Degg and his team to the town council chambers. First Mate Myler Orvid is awaiting their arrival.
Oh, like literally right now?
Yes.
Hold on. Hi, Captain Dag!
We're on our way down already.
We just took the money away from Kyle and Korba.
Yeah.
Just kind of motioned you guys over. So I have very good news. The town council wants to talk to us like right now. Like we have an escort and everything. Which probably means they're not taking no for an answer.
All right, let's go do this.
All right.
The two Navy men kind of turn and kind of guide you towards the town council chambers. You make your way through town, and people are coming up and like shaking your hand and starting to Rhunar Dig, thank you so much for your service. And people are kind of like patting you on the back, and little kids are kind of watching you walk by, and everybody seems to be super impressed at your presence as you stroll through the streets of Saltmarsh towards the town council chambers.
Theo is super uncomfortable. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a lot of attention on you guys at this point.
I'm just gonna be like kissing babies and waving.
Yep.
Kiss in hand.
Yep. Eventually, you make it to the council chambers, and sweet Ethel Birch is at her desk. Well, gentlemen, welcome back. They're ready to see you whenever you're ready. Right down here.
Smiles, nods, walks up, takes 3 pieces of candy.
Oh, help yourself. I've got plenty of candy. And she kind of winks at you.
I'm gonna grab a small handful.
The two navalmen that were with you sort of take a post at the door, and they don't follow you in. But the 4 of you make your way into the main chamber room. Long, rectangular wooden table. You see there are 2 men in the room. One is Myler Orvid, and the other is Eleander Fireborn. And Eleander gets up when he sees you under the door, and he comes over and shakes your hand. Rhunar, gentlemen, sounds like your mission was successful. The attack on the Sawajan Fortress, a complete success. No small thanks to you. We appreciate that.
Happy to be of service. And Theo promptly just stands back against the wall.
I'm glad we could help out. It wasn't easy, but yeah, we managed it. And it was successful.
Myler Orvid stands up, and he comes over and reaches out to shake your hands. It looks as though you've healed well, gentlemen. You look well rested. It's good to see you back in town. As promised, we've got your payment here, and he pats a large wooden chest with these iron buckles on it, and he opens it up, and there is a pile of gold in it. 700 gold to be exact. And he says, your work has been instrumental in allowing us to defeat the Sawajin and, incidentally, to provide the lizard folk with a return to their home, which, while not a high priority for the kingdom, is a gesture of goodwill, and forging of alliances is always welcome, especially in this region when we're dealing with the sea princes and unaffiliated pirates and the like. So this has been a success for the throne, and you've been a big part of it, so we thank you very much. And Eleander kind of interrupts and says, and the town council has also put together a small token of our gratitude for you gentlemen, and he sets 2 sacks of coins on the table, and it's another 300 gold worth of coinage, so a total of 1,000 gold.
Nice.
And then he turns and says, there's one more thing, gentlemen. Your efforts have been extremely helpful. This town is very, very gracious. I would like to, first of all, invite you to join us tomorrow, just after noon, for a public ceremony of thanks. Partially to you, of course, but also to the Alliance with our neighbors, and showing our gratitude to the king for deploying his naval forces to the region to help us fend off the Sawajin attack. It would be really important to us to have you there as honored guests.
Well, we'd be happy to be there.
That's fantastic. I'll send more details tomorrow morning to the ship. Have you renamed the ship, by the way?
I turn to the guys. Is that really what we're gonna call it?
Dude, imagine
Your ship, Captain.
What's
the
that?
legend. Just think of the legend.
Well,
We've
not important at this point, but I have one other thing for you, gentlemen. And he turns around and he walks over to a safe on the floor, and he kneels down in front of it, and he turns the safe dial. And I need, let's see, Rhunar, you can decide who's going to roll it, but I need a D100 roll.
This is Eleander.
Eleander, correct. One of you needs to roll it, but I'll let you decide who's going to do it, since you're the captain.
Letter in.
Okay, hold on.
D100 roll.
Mm-hmm.
Who's gonna do it, Captain?
All right, hold on. I'm gonna roll to see who does it. So, 1 is Theo, 2 is Byron, 3 is Irin, 4 is Rhunar.
Roll for a roll.
So that would be Irin. 100, right? Oh
yeah,
yeah, there we go.
Coalbiter.
70.
Oh, funny.
71.
That's funny. All right.
Hot rolling.
Yeah. He pulls something from the safe, and it's a small box, and he walks over to you and he says, I think this will be of some help to you at some level. We've had really no use for it in our ranks, but knowing your adventurous spirits, I believe this may be of interest to you. And he sets the box down on the table, and then he opens the box, and you see this strange looking satchel. It is a tan satchel, and it looks somewhat ordinary. And he says to you, and he opens up the satchel, and you can see these little fuzzy items inside of it. And he says, this here, I don't know if you've seen one of these before, gentlemen, but this is what the mages call a bag of tricks. And he says, you can pull these strange fuzzy objects out of the bag and throw them, and they materialize into creatures. Oftentimes can be used as distractions, can be used as aid in battle. I would refrain from doing it in town, though, if you could. It could cause some problems. It is rather dangerous, I'm going to be honest with you. Something to be used in battle.
Yeah, I want it.
All right, thank you. We
Kind of
appreciate
reach
this.
over and kind of slide it off the table and see if it fits.
Ah! I just looked that one up. It's terrifying. That's awesome.
Yeah,
What's it called again? Sorry.
it's called a bag of tricks.
A bag of tricks. Nice.
So you guys have a tan bag of tricks. He shakes your hands and says, "Very good. Well, I hope that we'll be able to see you at the ceremony tomorrow. It'll be really, it'd be good for the town to be able to see you there and honor you for your efforts. In the meantime, if there's anything else that I can do to help you with anything, please don't hesitate to come and find me at the Hool Watch Tower." And then Myler turns to you and says, "Gentlemen, I would like to invite you to dinner this eve at the Wicker Goat with myself, Captain Tote, Lieutenant Jalis Venn, and Captain Fleming. It would be an honor for us to have you join us for a meal. On us, of course."
Of course. We'd be happy to.
Can't say no to a free meal.
No, I mean,
Of course.
It's a terrible.
Well, gentlemen, shall we say 7 p.m.?
7 bells sounds lovely.
And Eleander, we would like you to join us as well if you're available. And he says, "I'll be there." Very good.
All right.
Congratulations, gentlemen. And Myler leaves the room.
All right, let's secure up all this loot.
Yeah,
All right,
1,000
so it's
gold
1,000
pieces.
gold, so it's 250 apiece.
Say that again, sorry.
250 apiece.
Okay.
And then let's just say anything we found on our adventure became boat money. So that 100 platinum or 106 platinum.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That way our jobs can be our money.
Well, very good, gentlemen. Eleander sort of gestures towards the door. Let me know if you need anything. And the
I will find you later. Do not worry.
5 of you make your way outside past Ethel's desk, her reception desk, and back out onto the streets of Saltmarsh. It's
So-
approximately, 2 or 3 p.m. at this point.
All right, should we go figure out what's up with this ballista?
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, we should
And
definitely.
I want to
Let's
go
just
by
get-
the Watch Tower because I need better armor, and I'm hoping they'll have a source. This clank 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 scale mail has worked, but it's a little what are the words I'm looking for? A certain je ne sais quoi, a certain loud as fuck. So I'd like to replace that.
All right. I wouldn't mind heading up there either. They have good arrows. We could probably do that on the way to the Wicker Goat, I imagine.
Well, I think Mr. Fireborn's probably going to be busy for a little bit, but yes, I entirely like what you said because I started talking before I thought about what you said.
So let's go handle this ballista business, and then we'll see where we go from there. So let's head to was that the Carpenters Guild?
The Carpenters Guild Hall.
Yeah. And let's just keep your head on a swivel out there in case there's still people looking for us around here. Plus, we have a lot of gold on us now.
Yeah, we do. I
Are
mean,
you-
you had a lot of gold on you before.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of a drop in the bucket for
Yeah,
me.
Rhunar is like everywhere Rhunar goes, he's just been like ka-chink, ka-chink, ka-chink. It's just
He
been,
drops as many
you,
gold.
you can't even listen, you can't even hear anything when you're walking next to him.
It's like I have spurs on.
So you guys have
People
two
with
large
footprints,
sacks of. You have 2 large sacks of gold and a chest.
They
A
just
large
have
chest of
dollars.
gold.
It just says dollar signs on them.
Yeah. Well,
Correct.
I mean, we do got to pay for this ballista once we get there too, I imagine.
Yeah.
And Theo has squirreled away his portion of gold into the bag of holding.
Okay.
Just to be safe and to make sure he's got enough room, he pulls out a hunting trap. Like literally just pulls out a bear trap and goes, anyone need a bear trap?
I don't know. Just set it over there.
just
Next to
just
that
give it to the
orphanage.
secretary.
We're out on the street.
Put it on. Put
Just
it
give it
under
to
the
Ethel.
candy.
We're in the market, so he walks over to the first stall he sees and goes, "Pardon me, do you think you can sell a bear trap?
Well, yeah, I probably could.
Here you go.
Oh,
Happy
thank you.
whatever is the equivalent of Christmas here in Greyhawk."
Oh, thank you. Hey, Martha, look what this feller gave me here. It's a bear trap. Ow! God damn it.
Careful, it'll take your arm. Oh God.
Everything I ever wanted already. Come, let us go to the place we are going.
All right, so the four of you waltz down the main drag of Saltmarsh, loaded with coin, making your way to the Carpenter's Guild Hall. As you get there, you just hear the sound of hammers and saws and people shouting, and it's just, there's a lot of activity going on. A lot of crafting taking place. And you see a fella come towards you, and he kind of like dusts off his hands. How can I help you, fellas?
Yeah, my name is Rhunar Dig.
I know who you are.
I believe we ordered a
Welcome.
ballista from you.
Yes, it's nearly done.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Grimm is working on it. Let me check in and see. Let me see what the estimate is on when that's going to be finished. Hold on a second here, fellas.
How long have we been gone? I totally forgot.
You've been gone for 3 days.
3 days?
Yeah, about 3 days.
Okay.
Would it be? Well, it was. You said it was a day and a half one way, right?
Correct. So maybe
They said
4.
3 days.
But then we weren't we also there overnight in the marshes?
You spent a night in the marsh. 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights. So this would be the 4th day since you've been gone.
They said 3 days for that price.
He comes back on and says, well, it's not quite finished yet, gentlemen, but it sounds like we'll be able to have it finished up for you by tomorrow morning, and we'll deliver it over to the ship.
All right, that sounds good. Can we pay you on delivery?
That's fine.
All right.
We know you're
we'll
good
do
for
that.
it.
Okay.
And he gestures towards the large crate of gold that you're carrying around.
How would you know that, you son of a bitch?
Yeah, we need to go secure this in the boat, I think. All right, let's head back to the boat, lighten our load a little bit, and we'll let the crew know to look out for the ballista in the morning.
Very well, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
I mean, the Carpenter's Guild is on the way back to the dock anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Carpenters Guild is up towards Craver's Cove.
Yeah, and we're... Oh, I guess we're not that far north, but... Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah. And
So we
Town
went
Hall,
past us.
Council Hall is the other direction.
Where am I on this map? All right.
All right, so what are you guys going to do next?
Well, we're not going to Crabber's Cove, I'll tell you that much.
Damn straight. I'm thinking we drop off the stuff, and then I know Theo has expressed interest in going to the pool watch tower. I don't know what anyone else wants to do.
Yeah, let's go back to the boat. Bring our gold back to the boat. Secure it. Make sure the men are, not freaking out.
That's fair.
What's the policy on shore leave while we're here? How many guys stay on the boat, and how many guys get to go ashore?
Go half and half. Split them into shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
I
many
think
guys
that
do we
might
have
be a good
total
idea.
again?
We have, I had this written down somewhere.
I got it.
You got Fritz, Emil, Korga, Tamis, Kyle,
We have 6
Leo.
men, I think.
that one fucking guy, and the other guy.
Oh, that
So that's
fucking
8
guy.
total.
8. Okay.
And then you guys.
Oh yeah, there they are.
And sales, I suppose.
And sales, right.
Yeah, Fritz,
Yep.
Cook, and 6 crew. So,
And sales.
and sales, yeah.
So with us, we're at like a full crew almost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
All right, let's head back to the boat and we'll see what. Because we had a system last time we showed up, right? Last time we were here. With the
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, the guys have been into port before. Fritz usually has at least 2 guys on the ship at all times. Essentially, security detail. That's kind of been the standard that he's been doing.
Does the dude that runs the dock, do they manage the entry to the pier, like to the dock?
No.
Do they have anybody on duty there?
Not like a security,
So anybody could walk up.
Correct.
Yeah, they're just taking taxes.
Yep.
All right, I think we.
Well, they
at least double
maintain the docks. You know, they maintain the infrastructure, but they don't provide security. You're basic. It's kind of like you have to provide your own security.
All right. So let's double the guard while we're here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. All right, let's head to the boat.
Easy enough. You guys make it back, no problems. You can see that most of the crew at this point is like stowing things, cleaning the ship. You know, they get right to work because they know that they want to get out and play as soon as possible, but they know that there's work to be done. And Fritz runs a pretty tight ship for the most part, but they're all busy when you get there. You're able to stow the loot, your payment. I don't know where you're gonna keep. So each of you took your own money, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So each have 250.
Yep, of that, yeah, I took 250 of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stow some of mine in the chest in my room.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know. I guess what's the logistics with walking around with like a ton of gold?
It's
I don't know
heavy.
how that's supposed to work.
Gold is heavy.
Does that factor into the weight on the sheet?
It should. I don't know if it does, but
It
It
does
does
automatically
in-
yeah.
And what's considered like what a person could carry?
15
what
times
number?
your strength in pounds.
Strength. Right. I think I'm fine.
You're a fighter. You're probably good.
240. I'm alright.
So is there anything else that you guys want to do in Saltmarsh between now and I don't know if you guys are planning on going to that dinner or not, but there's the dinner invitation. I know that you want to hit the Who Watch Tower.
I say we chill. We hit the tower on the way to the dinner. We go to the dinner, and then afterwards, unless something happens at this dinner, you know, we go out and celebrate, and then, you know, see if someone shows up.
Down.
Someone's looking for us. What do you guys think?
I think that's good.
So just get ready to go out to dinner.
First, let's go talk to the Who Watch people about armor.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we may have to go talk to those people on the hill that are kind of creepy.
Who, the leather people? Who are the creepy
the
people?
Quartermasters of Iuz. The ones that are literally a cult to a bad god. I have a book on it. It's not very good.
You mean Winston's store?
Wait, what was the Iuz thing again? There's Iuz people here?
Oh god. Yes, I will tell you as we walk. Come along, let us walk.
Alright.
All right, you guys are walking.
There's like
Yeah, go
apparently
ahead.
there's an organization called the Quartermasters of Iuz in town that can procure interesting things. The problem is Iuz is like an evil god slash demigod. I got his whole thing here. It's got a really weird parentage. I don't know what it is. So anyone working for a demigod of evil is probably not, you know, on the up and up, going to provide us good quality things. Maybe is going to sell us cursed items. Who knows?
Right. So, do
Can't
we know where
imagine
these guys are?
selling cursed items is a good business model.
Yeah. Where are these guys?
Somewhere up on the hill past the Point of Rocks is what I was told.
Point of Rocks. Which way is that? That store is the Fight Club, right?
It's past the Fight Club or past the Wicker Goat, depending on which
Like
way you're
outside of town.
Oh, it's one of these buildings that we've never been to down here.
Correct.
Oh, that whole part of town that we've never once stepped foot in.
Probably with really good reason. There's some crazy people up there.
I guess. All right. All right, let's hit town and see what shakes loose.
All right, you guys make your way down the main drag past the market area, which seems to be pretty active right now. Actually, there's a lot of activity in the market. Fishermen selling their wares, people eating. A lot of people call out Rhunar Dag as you guys walk by. There are merchants selling wares, and you see a couple of Marines standing around a table. And they kind of nod as you guys walk past.
Anyone selling cigars?
Roll a perception check.
All right. I feel like Rhunar needs a cigar at this point. Sorry. Here we go.
Nice.
You don't find a guy rolling cigars, but you do find someone who has a bunch of pipe tobacco for sale, and you could potentially try to roll your own cigar.
Oh,
Wait, they got the leaves and everything, though?
Yeah, they've got like shredded leaves. It's one vendor in particular. This
He was already
old
priced.
man, kind of bald on top, kind of white, stringy gray hair, and a scruffy beard, and he's just kind of sitting on the ground in front of a basket, or behind a basket, and the basket has a bunch of tobacco leaves in it, and he's smoking a pipe.
Does he sell any pipes?
He does have pipes for sale as well.
All
grab
right.
some of these pipes for us.
All right.
You fellas
Got
are
one.
looking
Who
for
needs a pipe?
you
Paint
need
us a
pipe.
word picture.
Who needs a pipe?
I've already got one.
I'm buying.
Why didn't you tell me
I
this,
need a
like-
pipe.
Oh my god.
I got pipes. You guys need some pipes?
Yeah.
How many you need?
Byron, you want a pipe? You want a
Got the
pipe,
kind
Byron?
with like the
Byron.
brass cap, like a.
They're carved out of wood. There's a couple of different. There's a bunch. Actually, there's a whole bunch of different styles, and it looks like they've been collected from a variety of different places. Some of them have been obviously used before, but some of them have brass highlights on them. Others are completely carved out of wood. Some of them have a long neck on them. Some of them a shorter neck. There's a whole bunch of them.
I'm gonna find the longest one made of wood.
Okay.
Get that one.
Yeah, easy enough. You pick one off the display rack, and it's got probably a 8-inch long neck on it.
My goodness.
Kind of a Sherlocky
Perfect.
looking. It's got this kind of a curved neck that kind of droops down in a tear shape to a pretty sizable bowl at the end. And it does look like it's been used. It's sort of brown and charred around the... That one's been well seasoned. You're going to like that one.
Nice. I'm gonna season it myself.
Yeah, that'll be
Yeah,
2
maybe-
silver pieces for that one.
They have any like longish ones with some Grimshaw? Some nice bone.
Yeah, definitely. He's got some. They're not made out of scrimshaw, but they've got like scrimshaw inlay. That
Right.
one's a little bit nicer looking. It's kind of fancy. It's not very long though. It's more like maybe like 5 to 6 inches long, and it's not curved. It's just kind of a straight barrel.
Like a Popeye.
Yep, exactly. It's exactly like a Popeye.
All right, I'll take it.
Oh, that one's 5 silver, sir.
All right, how much was the other one? How much was Byron's?
I think I said 2 silver.
All right,
That
7
was
silver.
cheaper.
I'll get us both some tobacco. And Irin, you want anything?
Yeah.
Pick one out, man.
I was looking for. There's this. I want to say it's like an Indian style pipe that's usually made out of metal and has like a. You know how they have like a cap similar to like a Stein.
Mm-hmm.
I can't find any fucking pictures of them on the internet right now.
I've seen him. Yeah.
He doesn't have any that are completely made out of metal, but he does have one where the bowl has a metal hinge fastened to it with a small little, almost like an acorn-sized cap lid that kind of pivots off and on. So it doesn't like flip up, but it pivots. That's probably the closest that you'd find. And it's kind of a short, stout pipe. But it looks like it's probably long enough so that you're not going to be singeing your beard.
Oh well, that's yeah. I'll take that.
Well, okay, that's a great pipe. That's also pretty well seasoned. Yeah, that one's 3 silver.
All right.
With the tobacco, it's going to be 10 silver and 6 copper for everything.
All right, I pay him.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, let's go. Let's head to the tower.
You at that point just pointedly busts out the pipe he already purchased and starts smoking it.
So you guys all are standing there in the market, just light up.
Yeah.
Just huge clouds of smoke. Just people are coming over to you, and they're like, "Hey, guys, great work. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for everything you've done for this community, gentlemen." And little kids come up and say, "Hey, Mister, hey, thanks. You guys are like real heroes." So you have a lot of attention on you guys.
Theo will in fact
Setting a
occasionally
good example.
using prestidigitation for the kids.
Dave, you said 6 silver and 10 copper?
No,
Oh, sorry. What was that?
I think I said
Forgot to write.
10 silver and 3 copper.
Okay.
So you guys pass by a couple more vendors as you're walking away. There's a young half-elf woman who looks like she's playing some games with people, and you get closer and pass by the Marines, and you get the sense that especially Rhunar, having been a Marine, you can get the sense that they're trying to recruit some of the local townsfolk. It's like a recruiter's desk. And there's a couple of Marines that are standing around talking to a couple of young men, probably 12 to 13-year-old boys actually, and kind of talking up the Marines quite a bit as you guys walk by. You make your way over the Shark Fin Bridge and head on up to the Hool Watch Tower. 60-foot tall tower. Made out of brick and stone. You've been here a couple times before, and as usual, there's quite a bit of activity around the tower. This is like one of the main rally points for the Town's Guard, and you can see men coming and going. And there's a couple of guys that are training out in the field, about half a dozen guys in the grassy area to the west. And yeah, what do you want to do here, Theo?
Theo's gonna step inside and look for Eleander Fireborn.
Yeah, you're able to find him no problem. In fact, someone, when they see you guys coming, they run and get him. And he couple minutes later, he appears. Gentlemen, I didn't think I'd see you so soon. What can I do to help you?
I am trying to find something, and you were the man to at least start talking to about it. I am looking for a little bit more armor. I am looking for maybe a nice breastplate. And I figured, well, you were the first person to start asking about where I can find one around here.
A breastplate, huh? Well, I don't know if we have any available out of our armory for you, although I'd love to procure that for you. Hold on a second. And he shouts over and he says, he grabs one of the Marines and has him go look, or excuse me, one of the Town's Guard and has him go look for a breastplate. He says, it's kind of hard to come by, especially for Town's Guard. We're not super well funded.
No,
you might have more success. Well, Winston usually doesn't have that level of wares either. I'm trying to think of where. I mean, I'd hate to direct you over to the Quartermasters, but they might be able to find something. It's gonna be dicey and pricey, if you know what I mean.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why I wanted to talk to you
yeah,
first.
that's gonna be a tough one.
Eliander, you mind if I top off my arrows again?
Yeah, go ahead. We
right.
should have enough over, and he kind of directs you back to where you were before, and you can see that there's a modest supply of arrows. They don't have a ton of arrows laying around, but they do have some.
Can I take a dozen?
Sure.
Okay.
There's a dozen there.
Oh, well, if you don't, I completely understand. I appreciate all the good work you're doing here and all the help you've given us. And Theo just kind of looks around and leans in. We are still pursuing that Dralian concern, just in case anything else has come up here.
Nothing since we last spoke of it. I did have a chance to finally get some information from Sophia Dralian. Of course, if you recall, she was not very forthcoming with the fact that her place had been broken into again. We did speak with her and her bodyguard, both of whom confirmed what you had already told us, that someone had broken in, that there had been a scuffle. But
Mentioned that the assailant was left-handed and a tall person.
they did not mention that.
They were left-handed and a bit tall, from what we understood.
Okay.
This might come up at dinner. It might not. I will try to. And he looks back towards the rest of the party. I'm going to try to ameliorate some of their worst impulses. But we have some questions about the Navy that have come up related to the investigation, on top of the spiriting away of Kreb.
Well, I'm sure maybe ease into it. I'd like to get a meal in me before anything too abrasive begins, if you know what I mean.
If I'm going to pick a fight with the Keoland Navy, I'm going to do it on a full stomach. And Theo just kind of pats the man on the shoulder. Hopefully we'll not come to that, though, because it's better to have them on our side, eh?
Indeed. I'll keep my ears open if we come across any armor of that
Appreciate
nature.
it.
But
And Theo turns as if he's going to leave, and then turns back and goes, also, I heard in our last stop in port after we acquired the ship, but before we left, there were some people in town asking about us.
Interesting.
You haven't heard that, have you?
I haven't. Any idea in reference to what?
No, they just, I heard a few rumors down at the docks and the taverns that there were people asking a lot of questions about us, and not specifically about Rhunar Deg, who, we'll be frank, we deeply enjoy wielding him like a shield to keep too many questions from being asked about the more colorful members of the group. So...
Well, I was about to say, you guys have made a bit of a name for yourselves around here, so it's not too surprising that there might be some interest.
Yes, but they weren't asking about Rhunar Deg, which
Yeah.
throws up a bit of a red flag, because, everyone likes Rhunar Deg. So if
That's
just
true.
do you hear anything trouble with some people who newly arrived in town, just keep us in mind.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else? Anybody?
Well, we'll see you in just a couple hours then at dinner.
See you at dinner.
He turns and goes back to whatever he was up to before you guys arrived.
Theo kind of just steps out into the salt air and goes, I'm going to make a bad decision. Are you all ready for a bad decision?
What are you up to?
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking let's go talk to the Quartermasters. I just want to see what they have.
Oh, you think that's a bad idea?
Yes!
Wait,
I thought-
so who are the Quartermasters again? Are they the...
They're the cult.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go talk to them. Whatever.
Yeah, no, literally, if they say they are working for what may potentially be an evil demigod, can't be good. And Theo, in for the second time in as many sessions, after giving everyone good advice and telling them not to do certain things, is going to go do the thing he said don't do. I would like to go talk to the Quartermasters of Iuz.
Okay.
Let's go talk to him. I don't think they're going to give you a very good deal, but, you know.
The man in the desert doesn't complain about the taste of the water.
Do you guys ask somebody at the Who'll Watch Tower for directions and are able to get them? They kind of give you a strange look, but they provide you with information that the Quartermaster's Lodge is up on the top of the hill, on the, I guess what would be the west side of Saltmarsh.
And I'm just going to make a suggestion. So, given who we're dealing with, maybe let's not be so loud about the fact that we're here with Rhunar Dag. We should probably try and keep his reputation sterling.
Do you think they'll recognize me?
How about we don't say it out loud and see if they recognize you or not?
Sure.
All right.
How about you here? Well,
Dave, where that... Oh, it's where the 7 is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What was that, Byron?
I was going to say he should conceal himself. Like, he doesn't need to go all the way in. Because they're going to recognize you. Anyone in Saltmarsh is going to recognize you.
I mean, I could enjoy a smoke out here by the bluff. But I kind of want to hear what's going on with this place.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, anyone in Saltmarsh is going to recognize Rhunar, and I'm pretty sure at this point is going to recognize us.
Yeah,
And we're
whatever.
gonna
Let's just
connect.
go.
Yeah.
And are going to connect them. So if we go in there, it might as well be that Rhunar is also in there, even if
Yep.
he's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Good call.
So Dave, you know, as we're making our trek out here, you know, what are all these other what's all this stuff going on out here? What are these buildings?
There's a lot of large mansions out on this area, overlooking the western expanse of the Azure Sea in the Bay of Javon. Very nicely constructed homes, and smaller, what appear to be domiciles of perhaps, servant type people, house workers and that sort of thing. But a lot of really nicely constructed homes. This building here, for example.
That's Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom's.
Yeah, exactly.
$50 mansion.
Yep, it's a really nice brick building with a slate roof, quite large. This one over here is similar construction style. They all seem to be designed by a similar architect. And then as you round the bend down here, you come upon the building of the Lodge of the Quartermasters of Iuz. And I think right here, let's take a break. It's almost 8:30. Let's take a break for 10 minutes, and we'll come back at 8:30, 8:35. So you guys make your way up to this kind of gloomy, even though it's a beautiful day out, it's kind of a dark looking brick building with this wrought iron fence that goes around the perimeter of the compound's grounds. And there's a open archway of iron that's nicely welded, very fine craftsmanship. If any of you are familiar, well, Irin would certainly see that it's very nice craftsmanship, the ironwork. In the middle of the archway, there is a symbol that's been built into the ironwork of a grinning skull.
Yep, that's Theo just kind of points at it. That's Iuz, and that just fills you with warm and fuzzy feelings, doesn't it?
Dave, out of character, your mic sounds a little distant. Do you have it back on?
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay, did you guys hear what I said about the archway of this ironwork?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you
Theo
see
was
this
pointing it
grinning
out.
skull. Okay, so you head up to the main door, and the door appears to be closed. There is a chain dangling next to it.
The chain just dangling.
It's coming out of a soffit above the doorway, so it kind of disappears. The chain goes up through a little hole in the soffit and disappears inside the building. At the bottom of the chain, it's adorned with some sort of silk ribbon.
Theo is going to assume there's a bell there and try and pull on it as if to ring the bell.
You pull on the chain and you hear this dong 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 dong, and this loud kind of gong sound just reverberates through the archway. And not less than 30 seconds later, you hear the door latches, and then, and you, out of the darkness beyond, you see this figure emerge, and it is this red-skinned tiefling, a woman with dark hair that drapes below her shoulders. She wears a leather sleeveless trench coat style black jacket with various pockets on it. She has gold bracelets on both wrists and circlets around the horns. She has these beautiful horns that erupt from just beyond her hairline on the front of her head, curving backwards like ram's horn, and then coming forward to their tips. And she's got some circlets of gold jewelry that are wrapped around them. And she has leather pants, tight-fitting leather pants, and knee-high boots. And a long tail you can see kind of bobbing, like almost like it has a mind of its own, just kind of bobbing and weaving behind her. Yes,
Well.
gentlemen, how can I help you?
Are you not just the most loveliest sight to see this fine afternoon?
Ah, you're too kind. Now, please, flatteries aside, I know who you are. Why do you seek my counsel?
One, I enjoy flattering. Two, I'm trying to find a specific piece of equipment to purchase, and rumor has it you may be the best people in town.
Rumors are correct. Welcome. Come in. My name is Captain Zendros. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rhunar. You must be Irin. She looks at you, the dwarf.
All right.
Ah,
I'm just gonna nod.
Theoderic. And Byron, the newcomer. Welcome to our humble town. She guides you in through this you look around and it's gorgeous. The inside is very, you can tell that she has a lot of money, and that whatever her business is in town is well funded and successful. And there's a flight of stairs that goes up to places unknown on the second floor, and the railing, it has like this gold inlay, and there is a large mirror on the side, like almost like a powder area where there's a chair, and there are fresh flowers that are settled. But the flowers are all like a deep crimson red, some strange looking flower that you've never seen before. And she guides you into what appears to be like this inner chamber that has no windows. You get the feeling that it's in the middle of the house. She has a large desk there, and there are cabinets behind her with various items and trinkets and statues and things like that. And she gestures to a seating area with enough chairs for the four of you, and she sits behind the desk and puts her feet up on the desk with a clank. Now, please, tell me, my friends, what would it be that you are looking for?
Theo's gonna look around, just kind of gauge the rest of the group. Like, does anybody else want anything, or is it just me?
Do you have any weapons?
Well, if what we don't have, we can get, my friend. What is it that you're seeking?
Oh, I guess nothing specific. I was just thinking you might have something I could look at. Collection.
I have many things for people to look at, but I typically work with motivated buyers who are seeking out specific items rather than browsers and
Well, in
looky-loos.
that case, specifically, since I seem to be the one who brought this little trip upon us, I am looking for a breastplate.
Ah. She opens up a ledger on her desk and starts leafing through it. why don't each of you guys roll me a D100?
Okay.
And then also roll a perception check to follow up.
Theo doesn't see much.
Ooh,
Oh no.
what's a D20 for?
Motherfucker.
Making Byron's
so-
roll not great.
In terms of the perception checks, first of all, Byron, for just a moment, you feel like you hear someone calling, but it's like the voice is. Maybe it was a bird, but it sounded like someone was calling for help almost. But it was so faint that you don't even know if you actually heard it. Irin, you kind of look around this beautiful sanctum, and you're examining these large cabinets that are behind her. And there are statues and vases and other items that look to be of high value. And as you're kind of scanning through, in the glass of the cabinet, you catch the glimpse of a familiar face. And you turn around, expecting to see your brother Kuda standing behind you, but he's not there.
What now?
You turn
What's
back.
going on
You
here?
turn around again, and you look back at the glass, and you can see his face there again for a moment. And then you turn around again, and there's nobody there.
What kind of sorcery is this?
Probably high quality.
I go up to the glass.
And you look at
Watch him.
you look at the glass. Roll another perception check for me. You guys watch as Irin is acting erratically.
Wonderful perception checks I make.
You're not sure what the hell's going on in your mind. It doesn't seem right, Irin, but you don't see anything at this point. But you could swear that you saw your brother's reflection in the glass behind this individual.
What have you done with my brother?
Pardon
He
me?
was here.
Have you come here to accuse me of something or to purchase goods?
He's in your glass.
I would
Irin, what's
imagine
going
some of your, and Theo just kind of steps in front of Irin and goes, I would imagine some of your more interesting or errant enchantments may have.
Didn't you see him?
action.
He was right there.
This
right-
place is certainly
I didn't-
There.
yeah.
No,
Um,
he was.
She closes the
Irin.
book and she says, I might have to ask you to leave if you can't get your friend here under control. Dwarf, control yourself. And
Hey
sit.
now.
I'm gonna walk up to Irin, just be like, all right, come tell me about it. And we're gonna like walk over towards the entry, like towards the door to let Theo do his thing.
Alright, I'll step up with Theo.
Come on over here. Tell me what's going on.
Okay. So, yeah, you, remember when we were dead?
Yes, I do. I have to deal with it all the time. I'm
Yeah.
still dealing with it. I've
So
st-
ever since then, every now and then, see, I can tell he's here, you know,
Right.
somewhere. My brother, he was there. I think wherever that was, there was like there was this
Like you saw him in the room, like a
Yeah.
reflection of him,
and he was in the glass,
just in the glass.
but he
eye.
wasn't behind. Like he was behind me, but he wasn't behind me.
Right. Understand. I got this damn journal. I scribble in every night since that frickin' island.
There's a demon out there.
I think we're both still kind of
He's
dealing with the aftermath.
he's fucking with me and my family. This demon.
I don't know what to do about it.
All right, I'm okay. Well,
Just try to hang in there. If you see him again, just try to keep it, because we need to, whatever Theo needs here. We should try to hang in here and
yeah.
let him get what he needs.
I'm cool.
So if you see him again, just try to be chill and see if you can communicate with him somehow. But just try to keep it on the down low.
I'll do my best. Yeah.
All right. So meanwhile, back inside the room, as they're having a conversation, she reopens her ledger and she's looking through it, and she says, "You're looking specifically for armor, are you?"
At the moment, yes.
Breastplate. I don't happen to have anything in stock, shall we say. But my agents are resourceful, and I may be able to track something down. It may take some time, of course, but if you're willing to put down my standard 50 gold retainer, I can get them started on searching down something special for you.
For a woman such as yourself, of course I would do that, and Theo will just pull out 50 gold and hand it over right there.
Okay. She gestures towards the table, and you set it on the table. I do have a couple of other items. As Rhunar and Irin come back in, she says, "Is everything okay with your friend?"
Everything's fine. Sorry for the interruption.
My apologies.
I can assure you, Dwarf, there is no overt sorcery at work. Please, have a seat. Calm yourself.
My eyes narrow like inovert sorcery is the worst kind.
She says, "I do have a few items that might be of interest to you, Deg, but it's quite expensive. I have a quiver of quite powerful arrows currently in my possession.
What do these arrows do?
They're very rare. They are, how shall I put this, extremely efficient at hitting their target and dealing maximum amounts of damage. I have a quiver of 12 of them, but even with your prestige and renown, I don't think you'd be able to afford them. So I'm hesitant to even bring them up. I also have this item," and she walks over to the cabinets behind her, and she pulls out this small sphere, and she holds it in front of you. She says, "This is often referred to as a drift globe. Quite handy. You can speak the command words and have it emanate light. Quite effective.
That'd be good for y'all.
And you can activate it to have it hover."
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Interesting.
It's quite uncommon, but as I mentioned, my agents are quite resourceful. And then finally, she gets up again and walks over to what at first you had thought was some sort of a art piece in the corner. And she says, she picks up a shield off of a rack. This particular shield is quite advantageous if you're trying to detect things that perhaps are well hidden. It allows you to enhance your perceptive abilities. It also
Byron.
gives you a little bit of a leg up on taking initiative during battle. Quite uncommon, but very useful.
Byron's drooling.
And, I don't want to cheapen things, but how much are these items? How much for these arrows?
Whew. Well, being as rare as they are, they drive a heavy price. I wouldn't be willing to part with them for less than 25,000 gold.
In the drift globe?
The drift globe. Save for that. Let's see. Yes, very handy. This is 300 gold pieces for the drift globe. And the shield is also 300.
I will buy it. I will attempt to talk him down to 240. I don't feel like that's super unreasonable.
How do you try to talk her down?
I want to be like, well, listen, like, I know we just met, and I see this beautiful shield that you're holding on to, and I gotta say, like, it's spectacular, in my opinion. But I feel like it's taking up a lot of space in your inventory, storage fees, you know, and then you gotta clean it, you gotta make sure it's still there and all that. I feel like it's gonna cost you more the longer you hold on to it. So I think you should give it to me for 240 gold.
You see a very devious, broad smile come over her face as you're talking. Roll a persuasion check. She counters you and says, I'd be willing to part with it for 280 gold.
I mean, we're coming down a little bit. We can
That's
come
my
down a
final
little bit
offer.
more. Ah, okay. You know what? I'll
Do it.
280 gold, piece of cake.
All right. You are now in possession of a sentinel shield.
Sexy.
I thought he was buying the drift globe.
Oh, I want the shield.
Oh,
See if I can find it.
Sentinel shield for 280? Oh, fucking A, alright.
That's actually real frickin' good.
Yeah.
What is it called again? A sentinel shield?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try to find the description for you somewhere. I don't see it in Roll20 at this point, but she looks to the rest of you and says, is there anything else, gentlemen, that I can be of service for?
Here's the thing. I'm gonna turn to Byron. Byron, I got this helmet now. I can see in the dark. Do you think we need a globe for you, or are you gonna make do with some lanterns?
You know, I left my hood in this, my hooded lantern in the Sahagwan forest. Or, no, in their fortress, I mean.
Yes, I heard of this. Tell me, how did it go with this Sawajin?
It was actually pretty easy with these guys. I mean, I literally watched Irin throw a door. I don't know. I mean, we killed like 50 people, but then we kind of got bored, so we just let the Navy handle the rest of it.
Interesting.
He just shakes his head a little bit. I actually
This
did.
is after I talked down the King of the Toad people.
Well, if that's it, gentlemen, I do have many other things to
I
do.
wanted to talk to you about something, if you don't mind.
Make it quick.
Did you have much business with Mr. Dralian?
She kind of looks up and to the right, and she says, "One thing that I have been very diligent about is keeping my dealings with people private. As it being a private matter, I don't feel at liberty to discuss my business dealings with anyone."
Quite all right. That was just a segue.
He's
Where
privately dead.
where I was
I've
going
heard.
with that is
Dreadful.
there's someone else operating in town. Whoever is operating in town is doing fun things like killing or trying to kidnap first officers, killing people like Mr. Dralian, stealing his things after his death. Now, I do not for a moment believe that would be you or your people. I know just a little bit about Iuz. This does not seem your way, and I'm going to stick with that assumption. You wouldn't happen to know of anyone else operating very quietly in town, would you?
She thinks for a moment. Have you traveled much? If you have, you'd probably be aware that there are factions of all levels operating at very many different locations throughout the coasts of the Azure Sea. And Saltmarsh is a particularly interesting location given its proximity to not only the edge of the Keoland Empire, but also the hold of the Sea Princes, which has proven to be quite profitable for my endeavors and quite beneficial for my people to the north. For me to dabble in local politics or to get involved with the comings and goings of whoever might want to visit this place, unless it threatens to disrupt the flow of goods and services to me, I'm not very worried about it.
I understand you're not very worried about that, and that's perfectly sensible as an astute businesswoman as you are. But it would strike me that someone who causes disorder, murder, and mayhem to traders, who interrupts that flow of goods and changes the balance of power, could be disadvantageous to someone like yourself. So, if there is anyone like that locally, we would just be, well, more than happy to deal with them should something come up. So keep us in mind, if you would.
I certainly will, my ambitious friend.
Theo will just kind of bow a little bit and go, "It has been just an absolute pleasure dealing with you, my dear."
Well then, gentlemen, I'll see you to the door. She gets up from her desk, closes her book, and gestures for you to make your way ahead of her towards the door.
Well, Theo
Yeah,
will
I'll head
scoot
out.
out. I don't know about everybody else.
I'm out of here.
I'll follow.
All right, you guys make your way back out, and with that, she closes the door.
Nice shield, man.
Theo will
Thank
pointedly
you.
get to the road and just kind of do that shiver like, oh.
What does that thing do?
Um,
Stoked.
Well, I have a feeling I'm gonna need some time with it, but advantage. I just feel like I'm gonna notice more, and just understand what I know better, and just it's gonna be better. It's just gonna. This shield belongs in my hands. Let's just say that.
Nice.
This was made for me.
That doesn't at all worry me at all that you're saying it that way.
Well, I'm glad one of us found something.
And then Theo, well, if we're lucky, perhaps something else will come our way. I don't think they're the kind of people that would be involved in what we're looking into, but they might know who is, and it might be profitable for them to double cross us, which I'm counting.
Once we're like 20, 30, 40 feet away, I'm gonna be like, guys, I could totally bust in there.
I promise you could get in, but I doubt you're going to get out.
There's so much stuff, and I'm pretty sure I heard people screaming for help.
Really?
I'm pretty sure there's all sorts of horrific sorcery happening in that place. Speaking of which, and Theo turns around, Irin, we have done a shit job of helping you out with trying to find your brother, which I suddenly feel very bad for.
I mean, well,
Oh, you
We'll
cut
get-
out there.
I don't know. We'll get there, I guess.
You'll have to tell
We
me
gotta-
more about.
Find leads and all of that, Solmore thinks he knows something about something.
Maybe we talk to Solmore about that. That's an in to talk to Solmore and at least make a better assessment of if he's a problem or not,
Let's
Well,
walk and talk. Let's walk and talk. Away from
Yep,
this.
I agree. Yep.
I feel like we got to give him time. I don't want to like.
Let's head
you
towards
know, I think the last time we talked to Solmore, it was like, like a week ago.
Well, I don't know. I talked to him I feel like 2 days ago, and I kind of threatened him.
Yeah, it was 4 days ago, and it was confrontational. But
It was
you,
overtly threatening.
yeah, Irin, you and someone else, I don't recall off the top of my head, but
Me and Dag went and talked
yeah,
to him.
you went and talked to him, and you got some information from him about
Yeah.
the Griffin Wing.
But it wasn't like a lot. Like he didn't really. I really feel like he didn't really seem to know too much. I'll double check.
He told you about Solana, the captain, and he told you about the Griffin
Yeah.
Wing. That's basically the information that he had, that your brother
Yeah.
had been working with
Well,
that
that's right,
group.
because Solana
He was on Solana's ship, the Griffin
is
Wing.
also Solana,
Correct.
the Solana from the journal,
Correct.
Yeah.
feasibly.
Yes. Who
Yeah.
may or may
So
not still be alive.
that's what I'm saying. Like
We don't know.
that's also why we need to like go. That's out of character. That's another reason why
Yeah,
Irin
like
is like we need to go abroad. Like the mystery isn't really here. Like this is a distraction mystery.
I mean, if we want to track down Solana, figure out what Dralian was after and everything, it all kind of leads to Solana and trying to figure out where he is or if he's still alive, or, and that might lead us to more information about your brother. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but in the journal, there was an entry. Okay, here it is. Where is it now? Hold on. Oh, it just said, the Iron Gate Lodge seems to believe that the other fragments have resurfaced among pirates from the hold. So, do you think
Here's the dumb
your
part.
brother-
I've
it said
literally
mention
read
that.
this. I've literally read this excerpt like 4 times in the last like hour and a half, and I have not connected the dot that I'm from the town of Iron Gate.
Right. So was your brother also from Iron Gate?
Yeah, I mean, we were all from Iron Gate.
Right. So was your brother a member of the Seekers Lodge in Iron Gate?
I guess I don't.
And was that what he
I have
was
no
doing?
idea.
Was
He
trying
was
to...
like from my understanding, he was a merchant. He was
Right.
traveling abroad, selling and acquiring and doing those sorts of things. That was kind of his calling. So whether or not he was,
Well, I mean, so was Dralian. Dralian was a...
yeah,
I think perhaps... I mean, I'm just floating this idea. It's a theory that, maybe your brother was part of this Iron Gate Lodge and he left with Solana because he was part of this lodge that believed that... Because Solana, his other task was hunting down these map fragments on... which is also where I got my map fragment from
right.
a pirate. So, it's all connected, man.
No, you're right, and I feel paranoid agreeing with you, but I do.
Just, So, off to dinner? What time is it?
The day is growing late for sure, so it's getting close to the dinner date.
Yes, let us go get dinner so I stop thinking about the things that woman could do with her tailor. Let's go.
One thing that I should mention, when you guys walk by this building here on your way headed north towards the Wicker Goat, which is up here,
Which building?
right here,
6?
number 6.
Oh, the one with the
I think we're
turret.
the wrong-
Yeah, so there's a large 3-story tower at that location. That would have jumped out when you guys asked earlier about the construction of these buildings. So just thought I'd mention that too.
Is there any people visible?
Roll a perception check.
You peasant.
Yes, you see in the window, you see a figure, and then you see the drapes close shut very quickly. And you're unable to make out who it was. But both
Is
you and Irin see the motion in the window.
Is this building like similar construction to the others?
It's a little bit different. It looks like it's a bit older.
Hmm.
The stones are different.
Okay. Like a different stone.
A different stone. It
Okay.
came from a different quarry. It's a different category of stone altogether. And the cut
Sure.
on the stone is a little bit more rough.
Okay. What's the groundskeeping look like?
Not great at number 6. It looks like
Okay.
it hasn't been well cared for. There's a lot of vines on the gate and the fence line. The grass is really long, and there's all kinds of weeds in the grass and that sort of thing.
Wait, is this the bed and breakfast from Beetlejuice?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, son of a
I'm
bitch.
pretty sure that was him I saw in the window.
Nice. Okay.
So you guys make your way to the Wicker Goat.
No one along the trail.
There's people that are walking around. Not many. You see a family, a father and a son, that seem to be walking down the same direction that you guys are, towards the Wicker Goat area, coming off the hill.
As I pass one of the, like, is it like a father?
Yep.
Or something?
Yeah, it's an older man. He's got a pretty full brown beard. He looks to be maybe early 30s. Full head of hair that's tied back in a ponytail. He's kind of skinny, well dressed, but just one look at his shoes you can tell that he's probably wearing his nicest shirt, because his shoes they've got holes in them, and you can tell that they're pretty old shoes. And the young boy is kind of dirty. It looks like he's probably been working maybe in a yard, doing groundskeeping, that sort of thing. Got a little bit of dirt on his face.
I'm just gonna be puffing on my pipe, and I'm just gonna say, friend, excuse me.
Oh, yes. Yes, Master Deg, of course. He kind of looks
yes.
down.
You know me.
He's kind of subservient, kind of looks at the ground, and he kind of puts his arm around the boy.
Oh, don't worry. I just have a little question for you.
Yeah.
I was walking along this trail here. I haven't come to this side of town before, and I noticed this unique-looking house over here with this tower.
Oh.
You know who
Yes.
lives there?
Yeah, that's Keladek's tower.
Keladek.
Yes. Yeah, he kind of whispers that he's, the wizard.
Oh, he's a wizard, huh? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is he friendly?
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen him around town before.
I don't want to,
It's all right. I understand.
prefer not to talk ill of anyone, if you know what I mean.
Especially anyone with magic, am I right?
Well, between you and me, Master Deg, there's this thing with this guy. He can kind of like listen in on your thoughts.
Is that right?
Well, that's what they say around town, anyhow. That he can sometimes. I should have even said his name. Damn it.
Oh, don't worry. I just know that you were just being nice. I don't need to know a lot about him. I was just wondering who lived there. Don't trouble yourself.
Okay.
I appreciate the information.
Very well. Is there anything else, sir?
Not at all. And I'm gonna toss him 5 silver.
Wow.
And just say, get your you and your family something good to eat.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, mister.
No problem.
All right, you keep
Right.
walking.
Yeah.
Okay. Eventually, you guys make it to the Wicker Goat as you look out down the hill towards the bay, towards the Kingfisher River, and the sun is setting over the Azure Sea as you arrive at the Wicker Goat. As you enter the main entrance, some of you have been here before. I'm not sure if all of you have or not, but some of you have certainly. As you enter, this is a much nicer establishment than the Empty Net or the Snapping Line. This is, let me bring up, It's a 2-story building. It's an inn and a restaurant and a tavern. Tends to, if you recall, Rhunar and Irin and I don't know if Theo and Byron have been here or not, but it tends to be populated by a lot of dwarves from the mine. It also tends to be populated by a lot of travelers. And when I say dwarves from the mine, I kind of mean like the managers, that sort of upper level leadership role. And you guys enter in, and there's a host at the front door waiting. A nicely dressed woman, black hair, pulled back in a ponytail. She has a dark dress on, maybe black, but kind of like a deep red. And then she has a small whitish apron on. And she says, Master Deg, gentlemen, follow me. And she leads you in. She guides you through the main tavern area, and there's people. It's actually pretty busy. There's a few dwarves, a couple of halflings. Roll a perception check, Rhunar and Irin. As you look around, Irin, you notice a halfling sitting at the bar drinking and talking to some people, and you recognize him from an earlier visit. I don't know if you remember his name or not, but he seemed to be asking a lot of questions when you and Irin, Rhunar spoke, and Farendir, I think, spoke with them previously. People kind of turn and look at you, as does this halfling. And there's a couple of folks that lift a glass as you walk in. She guides you through that area, and she opens this door, sliding door into this side room. And as she slides the door open, you can see this long table. And at the head of the table is Captain Toth. And seated next to him is his first mate, Myler Orvid. And then on his other side is, Jaelus Ven is there for sure. And Captain Fleming. The four of them are sitting there. And as you sort of walk in and stop to kind of scan, Eleander Fireborn kind of comes in behind you and says, glad I wasn't too late anyhow. And he finds a seat at the table, and Toth gets up and says, Rhunar Deg, gentlemen, please come sit. We have much to celebrate this night. Please. And you guys sit down, and immediately the help is there with glasses of wine, pouring glasses of wine for all four of you. Well, 5 with Eleander there. Well,
very nice.
Yes. We always spend time at the Wicked Goat when we're in Saltmarsh. They have some of the best cuisine in town.
And they don't sell claw wine.
Toth doesn't really know what to make of that, but you can see that Myler Orvid, he kind of gives you a nod, and he says, yeah, that stuff tastes like total shit. Garbage.
It's awful.
I raise a glass to Myler Orvid.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Right, cheers.
So there's a lot of small talk that happens at this point. Talking a little bit about the battle, the results from the battle. You learn quite quickly that it was a pretty sweeping success in terms of a military conflict. With not only the work that you did, which was instrumental in helping the Marines fulfill their end of the bargain in terms of their alliance, but also with the alliance itself, having the mermen and the lizard folk coming in from the aquatic side of this fortress. They saw quite a success. They were able to not only kill most of the Sawajin, but they did also kill the Baron. They were able to take the Baron down. And so word has already been sent to Nile Draw of the success. And these men all 4 of these Keoland naval officers are in very good spirits. And it's a little bit of a gratitude dinner with you guys to thank you for your effort and to sort of just catch up on some conversation. The first course of the meal is a very strange, and you might have had this before, but it's a mussel from the Azure Sea that's cooked in a goat butter sauce and seasoned with all kinds of fresh herbs from some of the local farms and gardens, and it's really good. Like the food here in this particular meal is some of the best food you've had in a long, long time. These guys have apparently pulled out all the stops in terms of the meal. There's a second course that comes in, and it's a really beautiful, colorful salad with all kinds of vegetables, fresh vegetables on it. And then there's a main course of steak, and then there's also some fish along with it. So it's kind of a surf and turf kind of deal. Really, really tasty. Again, some of the best food that you've had definitely since you've been in Saltmarsh, and possibly, I don't know, your backstory in terms of food and that sort of thing and cuisine, but this is really, really tasty. Towards the end, more wine comes around. You've had a couple of glasses of wine potentially at this point, depending on how much you guys decide that you want to drink. And there is a pie that comes out. It's a really delicious plum and honey pie, large chunks of fruit in this fully encased crust. It's really warm when they cut it and they put a piece on your plate, and it's just really sweet and delicious.
This is undoubtedly the best meal Theo has ever had.
Oh, this is amazing.
And at this point, the meal is kind of coming to a close, and you're sitting around drinking and having a conversation, and Captain Tote says, "Now tell me, now Myler Orvid, my first mate here, been in a bit of trouble, as you know," and Myler Orvid's like, kind of looks down a little bit, and he says, "He has told me that you have some interesting theories about this whole Dralian situation, that you somehow think that we are involved or something. I would be very interested to hear more of this theory.
Theo is going to give everyone the look.
Perhaps some of the other theories that you might have." Go ahead, Theo. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Theo is just kind of looking to the rest of the party like, are we going to have this conversation now? Because Theo will do it.
I'm gonna drink more.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn to Byron and kind of give.
Yeah, Byron.
Byron, do you
Um,
have this conversation? Or do
you
want
know, Theo, help me.
Let me help
Oh,
you.
okay.
Let me help you. Myler Orvid kind of stands up with his drink, and you can tell he's a little tipsy at this point. He's kind of walking around a little bit, looking at some of the paintings on the walls. And according to what I can remember from what you told me, some sort of crazy conspiracy theory that somehow the Navy would get involved with domestic politics and perhaps try to assassinate or something some local merchant. Wasn't that
It's
it,
funny.
Byron?
That was... No, actually, I was the one who said that for the record. And at first, I was bullshitting a joke. And then you acted a little weird, so whatever. But, funny story. Did you know that certain things were left us from Mr. Dralian's death? So we do know for a fact that yourself, sir, and the good captain here did pay a visit to Mr. Dralian very quietly out of uniform. So, we don't think you killed him. No. But we think there is something more at work here. That is what got him killed. And between that and the fact that, well, Krebs, the man who tried to kill you again, disappeared so very quickly, has us just wanting to know what is going on.
That is exactly what we're interested in, my friends.
Well, then let us ask the basic question. What were you after, going to Dralian's without trying to draw attention to the flag?
Well, our business with the local business people in town is certainly no secret. Saltmarsh is an important outpost on the edge of the kingdom. The activities of the merchants in this area, given the close proximity to the hold of the Sea Princess, poses, how shall I say, an interesting challenge of not only policing the shores for threats to the kingdom, but also to preserve the channels of commerce. We often meet with people, as you may or may not be aware, to get a feel for the problems that they face in this area. We have done this for quite some time, and while we turned our head to other issues to the north for quite some time, the influence of the Sea Princess has of late been more important to the throne, shall we say. Now, I would be interested to understand better your investigation and what do you think has happened and who is behind the murder of Dralion.
I believe it's people looking for whatever you were looking for. 'Cause you
Information
clearly
about the
were
Sea
looking for
Princess.
something specific.
Well, we ask for a lot of different types of information. Well, Eleander interrupts at this sort of awkward moment and says, fact of the matter is, our investigation has drawn little in by way of leads. Dag and his team have identified at least, he looks over to you, shall I say, a modest lead in terms of a description of someone who recently broke into the Dralion estate. He kind of looks at you guys.
Are any of the people exceptionally tall? Any of the people in our
In this
at the
room?
table? Yeah. Like, are they considered kind of like tall?
I mean, you've seen these guys
6, 8,
before.
7 feet.
You've seen these guys standing before. All of them are sitting except for Myler Orvid. He's standing up and kind of walking around a little bit. None of them seem outside of the average height of a human.
Okay.
Well, we know that there was a cloaked individual who was trying to pointedly kill you, good first officer, when we were trying to rescue. Literally, a crossbow bolt came out of the night, directed at yourself, and was only intervention of, I believe, our good friend Irin here that preserved your life. So they wanted you dead.
Yes,
And-
I've read that in the reports, and he turns to Irin and gives a little bit of a bow with it and lifts his glass a little bit and drains the rest of his glass. He says, "I certainly appreciate what you did for me, and if I might just clear the air right now, the fact that I was taken advantage of in such a honorless way, I appreciate that you were there to help me. And I apologize for my indiscretions." And he kind of looks over at Captain Toth, and Toth says, "Yes, we've dealt with this already, my lord.
Well, that is not what concerns us.
Tell us about this individual you say was this individual that was attempting to kill my lord. Was this not one of Krebs' men?"
No, no one Kreb has hired is that good of a shot, I imagine. Also, they probably weren't nearly tall enough or left-handed enough.
Left-handed, you say?
I'm already
Yeah.
left-handed. I can't get any more left-handed.
And the other thing that is important to all of this that we believe may be connected is we did hear rumor of a brotherhood active in town. Theo just lets that hang there.
What do you make of that?
I think either yourself and your first officer are either looking for something very specific for the throne, or on your own. I don't know which, and it's not my business. But I think you're not the only person looking for it, and the other people looking for it are probably going to start killing people as is convenient to find it or cover their tracks. And we would really like to find them before that happens again.
Mm-hmm.
This is very interesting. I know you seek to do good by this community, but at the end of the day, what is in it for you? I'm so curious to know what motivates you to be involved with these things.
Theo just kind of leans forward, puts his elbows on the table, takes a drag on his pipe, which I assume it's pipe smoking time, and goes, I don't like murderers.
Toad just nods his head.
I make the, yeah, that makes sense face. Like that? Yeah.
Runar's just drinking some wine.
Byron is just sitting there listening and watching.
Well,
Planning to murder people.
nonetheless, it's when Mylar brought us your theory of our somehow involvement, I was very surprised to hear it, but also concerned that we might have to, how shall I say, have a conversation with you about the jurisdiction of the crown in these areas versus, how shall I put this gently for you, soldiers for hire.
Catchers. I like the term.
Well, I would never be so bold as to demean you like that. You have done very, very well for this community, and you have done very good things for the crown as well, and we thank you for that.
And, you know, as you may know, asked by our friend Fireborn here to help out.
Indeed, we do know this. And you have performed very well. Again, the purpose of this dinner was to thank you for your service. Again, something that you had no commitment or responsibility to follow through on other than, well, we did pay you well, but there is more to it than that. I see that now, that you are driven. Yeah, I can see it. Especially in you. And he looks at you, Theo. Yes. Well, gentlemen, it has been a long day for all of us. And I can see that some of us have had many cups tonight. So I will take my leave at this point. If you would like to stay and have another drink on me, of course, please do. Other than that, I will hopefully see you tomorrow at the ceremony. I hear there is something planned. Is that correct, Eleander? Yes, Captain Toad. There's a ceremony planned in the afternoon, and your team will be briefed on that in the morning. Very good, very good, gentlemen. With that, I will take my leave. And he gathers his things as he stands up, and he walks slowly out of the room. And as he walks past Theo, he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "I admire your motivations." And he walks out of the room.
Thank you, Captain. Do the other officers stay?
Mylar pours himself another glass the minute that Tote is out of the room. The other, Captain Fleming, who hasn't said a word the whole dinner, he gets up and leaves.
He's the captain of the
Bannockburn.
Bannockburn?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Jaelus Venn finishes his glass and says, "Well, that was enlightening, gentlemen.
Politics, my friend.
Yeah,
This is
something
all
I'm not
fucked.
that interested in, but yeah, we appreciate what you've done. I will hope to see you all tomorrow." And he leaves as well. So now Mylar's the only one left in the room.
So Theo just looks at Marler and just pointedly looks at him and waits.
I'm gonna look. Who's the closest one to me? It doesn't matter. I'll just whisper to whichever of you is closest to me. I'll be like, "Let's get him sloshed, and then let's take advantage of him the same way we saw those other people taking advantage of him. Because if we get him sloshed enough,
Right.
we can
Saying you-
find
are
out
you
what
gonna make
the
out
Navy
with him?
knows." No.
He
We don't have to
turns
do it
to
like
you
that.
and he roll
Honey
a
pot him.
No, I'm not even gonna have you roll. He's like, "I can totally hear you." And he finishes his drink, and then he walks out.
Oh shoot! Should we
Oh,
go after
man.
him?
Theo is going to go
No,
after him.
what the fuck?
You guys stay here. And
Right.
Theo just kind of catches up and goes, Byron is sometimes the worst, and I do apologize for him.
You should keep an eye on that one.
Oh, I have both of them on here, I promise you.
Yeah.
But I'm...
Well, we've all had a bit to drink tonight, so. Anyways.
Sir, we both know there's more going on here. Maybe it's crown business, maybe it's not. If it is crown business, we want to stay as far out of it as possible while still doing what we need to. But if there's anything else you know, because the captain, we know you had a conversation with Dralian. We know it was very quiet, low-key, and about something else. If there's anything you have that can help us find this killer.
He kind of leans in and puts his hand on your shoulder as he leans in, and you can smell wine on his breath. He seems pretty intoxicated, but he says, "We have many conversations with rich folks to protect rich folks and their operations. It's no big surprise that people like Dralian and people like Solmore and the mine here, these are important parts of the overall kingdom economy. Of course we're going to meet with them. Of course we're going to have conversations with them about their interests."
And their artifact smuggling?
He raises an eyebrow. I think it's time for me to go to sleep. And he walks away.
Theo kind of just comes back in, plops down. Well, shit.
Yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna get the Navy to fess up to what they're up to around here.
Well, I
That was
think
our best chance. It should have been a little quieter.
I think if I had to go ahead. Irin, what were you going to say? I've been talking a lot.
Oh, that's it. I just said. He said we should have been a little quieter, and I said, "You think?"
Subtlety is important, but I think
A little bit.
if I had to read on that, I don't think the Navy meant
I don't think
harm.
they killed him.
No.
I don't think they had any reason to kill Dralian.
I think they know more than they're letting on, but I also have a dirty suspicion that it involves politics in the crown, and we don't want to touch that if we can help it.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't want to discuss the journal too much in this crowded area.
By this point, it's getting pretty late. You guys have been here for a couple of hours, and even when you walked out to chase down Myler, Theo, you noticed that the bar was quiet. There was only a couple of people.
Are we the
still in
only
the
ones
bar.
left in that back room? that
Yep,
we're
you
all
guys are the
meeting
only
in?
ones in the back room.
Oh, okay.
So I was thinking about going back down to the market and see if that half-elf girl was still running the books. She seems... and it's a good way to be out in public drunk. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's another thing. I don't think we're gonna attract a lot of ne'er-do-wells up here in the Wicker Goat. We should head over to the snapping line.
Definitely. We've stirred a lot of bees today. Stirred a lot of bees? I've had too much to drink.
Stirred a lot of bees.
Don't
Yep.
drink too much.
Filled bowls of bees. Then stirred them.
All right, so you guys leave the Wicker Goat and head back down the hill towards the snapping line and the
Yeah.
market. It's pretty late at this point, like I mentioned, so things are quiet. The market is closed down. There's nobody in the marketplace. There are a couple of stragglers that seem to be intoxicated walking around the quote-unquote downtown area of Saltmarsh, near the snapping line, the council hall, etc. But yeah, it's getting pretty late at this point. You guys go to the snapping line and walk over, and there's still some voices inside, but it's fairly quiet. There's, I don't know, half a dozen to 10 people that are still there. And when you open the door, the bartender looks up. Ah, Rhunar Dig! Come on in. We've got time for another one if you're interested. Got a fresh batch of the claw wine.
No claw wine, just the ales. Ales for all my men here.
Very well. He gets to work pouring ales, and he pours a mug for each of you. It's going to be 4 copper per mug, so 16
Right.
copper. He hands the mugs off to you guys.
Why don't we find a table and just sit and see what happens?
Okay.
Are there a lot of peoples here still?
No, there's like between 6 and 10 people. Conversations are pretty hushed. People are, they kind of nod and acknowledge your arrival, but nobody's getting too talkative. It's not very festive at this point. It's pretty quiet. It's really late. Give me an idea of how much between, I mean, basically at the meal and then this particular mug, how much to drink have you guys had?
Oh, I guess I had.
Like, give me an idea of how many drinks do you think you had?
I probably had 3 with the dinner, at least, but I lost count.
Okay.
Theo is
Only had 2 at dinner.
he's had a middling amount. He's got an 18 constitution, so he can hold way more than he should at his size. So he's had like probably 4 or 5, but I imagine he's still, he's not too drunk.
Is it 4 or 5, Theo?
As apparently the player has had a couple to drink, we'll go with 5.
Okay. And you said, Byron, that you've had 2?
I had 2 at dinner and maybe 2 afterwards, but over the course of hours, so 4 total.
And how about you, Irin?
Well, I feel like I've probably had what a person could call a human 4, which is like
A dwarven 8.
a dwarven like 2.
So you've had 2? All right.
You know.
And how many for you, Rhunar?
I would say 4.
All right, Rhunar, give me a Constitution saving. Everybody, give me a Constitution saving throw except for Irin.
There we go.
Oh, not like that.
Rhunar. Okay, Theo. All right, yeah, you guys are holding your shit together for the most part.
Did anybody follow us in?
Roll a perception check.
Not with that roll.
It's hard to say. You haven't seen it since you sat down. You haven't seen anybody come in or leave, but it's hard to say. When you walked in, you were not really paying attention to the door.
All right. I say we just enjoy ourselves for a little bit. See what happens.
Before we leave, I'll stealth outside and see if there's anyone waiting for us.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
And I'll go ahead and pull the hood up as I'm leaving the door.
Okay. Wow. 29. It's like before he even hits the door, he disappears
It's a puff of
in the
wind.
shadows, and you just see the door kind of like blow open in the wind and then close. Byron, you're out in front of the snapping line. Roll a perception check as you look around, trying to identify if there's anybody waiting for you or case in the joint.
Nice.
Nice. You look around and you kind of stroll around nonchalant through the shadows, and you don't get the sense that there's anybody that is trying to hide, or it's really late. Like there's nobody out.
There's nobody trying to
the
hide.
streets
but
are
there
quiet.
15 people in the street.
No, there's nobody in the street. It's quiet.
Well, shoot, I'll just saunter back in.
Yeah, the night grows long. You guys drain your mugs, and the other people start to file out, and you get the sense that they're ready for you guys to leave. They're like wiping off the bar, and they're putting the chairs up on the tables.
Yeah.
And the guy comes over and says, "Is there anything else I can get for you before we close it down? You want one to go?"
Yeah, let's take some road beers.
Yeah.
Another round.
Yep.
He pours
back
you
to the
4
boat.
more mugs. Mark off another
Nice.
16 copper.
16, all right.
Yep.
Fucking road beers. I miss that shit.
And you guys make your way back to the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys decided what the name of the ship is yet?
Are we going with Good Buddy? I meant to
I was
mention.
okay with Good Buddy.
Are you guys all okay with Good Buddy, or does it not sound tough enough?
So I like it.
I'm not against it.
I'm just thinking of the legend, you know?
The legend.
Legend of the Good Buddy.
All right.
Fuck it. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Fuck it. Let's do it. Good Buddy it is.
So you guys decide on the name of the ship, and you guys give each other big cheers with your road beers. Make your
We're
way
gonna
back.
get a better little sign made, though. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I was kind of hanging upside down when I painted it. It's not
Byron did.
great.
Or now you could actually like get up on scaffolding or something.
You gotta get that shit engraven on the side.
As you
Yeah, I'll talk,
drain,
you know,
as you drain your final beer, everybody roll one more con save for me.
uh-oh.
Byron. Irin's dragging us home right now.
No shit.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Theo and Irin are like we have one of each of you over our fucking
Yep.
shoulders.
Byron
Pirates style.
is walking back and forth across the street, and you're basically drunk, so you've got your speed is halved, and you have disadvantage on ability checks right now.
And I'm totally going to try and pop in and out of stealth. Like, I'm going to try and hide from you guys and then pop out and scare you.
Except you just keep running into.
Yeah, go ahead.
boxes.
Roll a stealth check with disadvantage.
If I pull my hood up, would it just be a straight roll?
Yes.
I'll pull my hood up and give you guys the drunk eyes, and then just kind of like try and fall into stealth.
Yeah, the only one that's I mean, unless you guys are looking for him with the passive perception, Rhunar, you're able to see him, and he's crouched down like next to like a shrub.
What are you doing?
That's exactly as I pictured it.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, and you also, Rhunar, have that half speed and disadvantage and saving or on ability checks. You guys are drunk.
I need to go back to the boat.
Yeah, eventually you guys make it back, and you get yourselves settled in for the night. You can, as you come in, you see there are there's 2 guards that have been posted. It's Kyle and that other fucking guy that watch you come in, and they kind of help you get back on board, especially Rhunar and Byron. They kind of give you a hand. Oh, looks like you guys had a little bit to drink tonight, huh, Captain?
You know it.
Well,
Keep a good eye out tonight.
aye, aye, sir.
You
And
guys are doing a great job.
thank you, sir. You guys finally make your way back to your chambers and pass out for the night.
Before they pass out, Theo just looks at Irin as the 2 sober people and just goes, "What? How are they so drunk?"
Only human.
Wow, I'm half human, you know that, right? I'm half offended by that statement.
Yes, and you're half more drunk than me.
That's probable. I am sleeping now.
Hammer on the floor. Hey, be quiet down there.
Hey,
I have a trap door into your room from my
I've got something for you, and Theo just kind of stands up to the trap door, and you just prestidigitation and wafts the most foul, rotten egg smell
God-
possible up
God
through
damn it.
the trap door.
Oh,
Yeah, how do you like that?
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I know. Go
goes-
to bed.
I'm gonna crack a window,
It
pass
smells
out.
like a basilisk farted in here.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. He just immediately cleans it up.
Prestidigitation has never been so useful.
Eloquently
I love
used.
that spell so much.
Yeah.
Theo was like, actually, it's a funny story. My father tried to teach me how to do that for like 4 years. Never could do it. Now I can. It's really neat.
Huh.
He just plops down in his
And you
hammock.
use it to throw farts at people.
Well, given
So South Park.
All right, pass out.
Finally, the four of you fall asleep, and everything's quiet except for the gentle splash of the Kingfisher River as it slaps against the hull of your ship, lulling you all into a good night's rest after a much deserved celebratory meal and drinks on the town. Morning comes, and Rhunar and Byron, you guys wake up with just a splitting headache. And you're all pretty dehydrated, but Rhunar and Byron are in rough shape.
What's for breakfast?
And with that, we'll end there for the night, and we'll come back to this next morning, next Thursday.
Saltmarsh.
nothing. Nothing but
Back
trouble.
hungover. Yay.
Hey, at least we accomplished something that day. It was just like, nothing worked.
Byron got a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I got a shield.
On a shield, the first thing I was thinking was like, I can't do anything stupid right now. I'm gonna get myself killed. I'm gonna lose this shield before I ever have a chance to use it.
We may have. Well, I guess the Navy thing is ambiguous. Like, did we cross off a lead? Did we not?
I don't
Who
think we did.
knows?
I think we gained a even more likely culprit.
Nah, I mean, out of character. No, I don't think the.
I
they
really
did
don't
it.
think that. I think the Navy is trying to follow up on stuff the Crown is asking about Dralian. I think they're like a step or two behind where Dralian was
That's
in trying
my
to
thought, too.
like exploit the riches of the South, the Immediate.
Right.
I think they're interested in the same thing Dralian was interested in, and so they came to grill him, but he was just like not having much of it. But
Yeah.
the only way to know for sure is to interpret the rest of that journal.
Kill them and speak to their ghosts. Wait, I'm not playing a cleric. Never mind.
Who can do that?
We can.
Actually,
Is
technically,
that a monk power?
it's technically the spell Speak with Dead. I think it's technically on my spell list if I were to, drop
Hey.
something else to take it when I leveled. But it's not really a Theo power,
Yeah.
He's more of a
Right, yeah.
magic, knucklehead, a magical bruiser, if you will.
Mm-hmm. You guys need a cleric.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to hire one, or at least get somebody on the boat that can
See,
be our backup.
Saltmarsh is such a backwater, though.
Couldn't even
I know.
find basic armor. Yeah,
There's nobody around here. Yeah, we can't get a breastplate. I mean,
Well, breastplates are pretty expensive.
yeah. Well, there's no place that.
Oh, yeah,
like, it's not like a big city that would have like places that make armor and places
Not
that
yet.
make weapons.
It's got potential. It's got potential to grow.
You've got Irin here. All that
Realistically,
really
I
nice.
could
metal.
make a breastplate. It would probably take me a week or so, but
That's yeah. I was gonna ask.
or maybe less. Who knows?
Don't you have that really nice metal? One of the chests that was in one of the
Yeah, didn't we get a bunch
the
of
offices.
Electrum?
I think it was Electrum.
That was in the haunted. That was in the mansion.
you don't want to put Electric in that.
Yeah,
My history nerd
Electrum
brain.
is used for money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my history nerd brain can walk you through the process and point you that people that have built these in modern reproduction, and yeah, it takes weeks because there's a lot of work in those.
Mm-hmm.
What about that stuff we found in that house? Can like turn things into gold,
Gold breastplate's a really bad idea.
or do we need to be a wizard to do that stuff?
Oh, the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Who has all that? Like the book that was in there about philosophy
Well,
stuff.
I read about the book, but somebody else had the stone. I thought I read the book.
I thought Theo had the stone.
I've got the
Yeah, you
stone, but it's a luck stone. It's not
Oh,
the book. It's not the book on how to turn things into other things. You took that, and I decided not to fight you over it because I appreciate you.
I thought the stone was what the tool in the book was, the instructions, but I could be wrong. And none of us might be able to use it because we're not wizards.
Might be able to, but that would involve like training up proficiencies for that sort of thing. I think. Like I do not have proficiency in alchemist set or anything like that.
We did find some wizardy guy in town though.
You could holla at him if you want to.
If he could be trusted.
Theoderic, is that his name?
Yeah. What was his name again?
Keladek.
Keladek. A little reclusive. Didn't really take care of his yard that well, right?
Right.
He's a wizard. He's doing wizardy stuff.
It was really didn't like us peeking through his front window either.
Yeah, it was a little reclusive.
I bet you he'd love to get a hold of some of these scrolls, though.
We
Theo
do
is
have
literally on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 magic scrolls.
Just saying, we do have that wizard's spell book too,
And Theo has that too.
that we could use as like a, bartering piece.
Well, I mean, we could definitely, sell or trade to him. It's just, what do we want to get out of him and for it?
Right. Or do we want to just leave Saltmarsh and be like, no more Saltmarsh?
I mean, I like Saltmarsh, but everything in, other than Dralian's specific murder, all of the stuff that he was involved in all point further south to at least Narisbin. From, what
Right.
I'm, recalling reading, it's Narisbin, and, that Narisbin is technically where the Grey Griffin, or the Griffin, the
Griffin Wing.
the Griffin Wing that Solana was captain of and that Irin's brother was on. That's where they went in the last entry we have.
The Griffin Wing is in the journal.
Well, there's a journal entry that Solana
Right.
has left for.
Oh, right.
Risbon, and he's the captain of the Griffin Wing.
So that's kind of the next point on that part of the where are we going?
Right, because the Emperor of the Waves was on its way to Narisban to meet Solana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was?
Yeah. With the sizable investment from Dralian and
But never got there.
and the map fragment.
So Dralian in theory put the weird box on the Emperor of the Waves to send to Narisbin.
Yeah,
Correct.
to Solana. So maybe Solana knows how to open the box.
Well, the Griffin Wing it's known to have sunk, right?
Ooh. It was last seen somewhere, right?
I was under the impression my brother was lost at sea, was the word we got back in Iron Gate.
And Solmore said something about the Griffin Wing. And what I feel like, wasn't there a job to go looking for the wreckage of the Griffin Wing?
No, the job was to go looking for a missing boat of Solmore's.
Mm-hmm.
That on the job board, you mean?
There were missing
Some
missing
fishermen.
fishing vessels.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's in our interest to find Solana and the Griffin Wing, and unless there's something local we've missed or forgotten about in these talks, which is within the realm of possibility, Narisbin's the next not Saltmarsh point on that particular compass.
Yep.
It's pretty far south, too. I mean,
It's
we gotta go through pirate waters. I mean, that's in the
It's in the Sea Prince's territory.
Yeah, it's in the Sea Prince's territory, and it's not far from. Well, it's a ways, but it's pretty close to the Amedio too.
Clearly, some vessels are making it for trade because the Griffin Wing was, or Solana at least, we assume on the Griffin Wing, was making the trip.
Yeah, there are trade routes that go down that way, from what I understand.
So that's, if we're going to take the investigation and things out of Saltmarsh, that's what I figured we'd go next. I just don't know what else to get out of Saltmarsh. Like, there's a couple of titillating things, like the people asking after him, and you know, the murdering, assassinate, thieving dude, who we just don't have much else on right yet. So
Right.
Should we just leave on like without telling anyone? Just disappear?
Just bounce.
Yeah, like we don't
Well-
owe any of these people goodbyes or anything.
Well, I want to go to the ceremony.
go to the ceremony.
We have no idea. Something could happen.
You're right. Okay.
But with that said, I mean, I don't know. At this point, I don't know how much closer we are to figuring out who exactly was the killer.
And we don't even know if the killer's still in town by this time frame.
Right.
Yeah, I think the best bet would be to head towards Narisbin, follow the lead of the journal, decipher the journal simultaneously.
Well, there's
stop
another
at the
thing.
closest big city.
What if we get out to sea, we're studying the shit out of the journal, and then it's like, you know, Anders Solmore is showing up in my house and being a real dick, and, you know.
Well, I can
threatening
show
my
you
home.
that entry right now if you'd like.
What if
Entry
entry
12?
13 is like, he's been a real a-hole lately, and then entry.
If it was like entry 19 or entry 22, yes, I definitely think we'd turn around and come back.
So
we really
actually,
need to get some more of this journal deciphered, I feel like.
so the only other practical question I'd have is, no, seriously, how long of downtime would it take for Irin to craft a breastplate?
That'd be
I guess
days, right?
I'd have to take a look at that, but it would take some time for sure. It would take probably a couple weeks. You got to procure the materials. You know, you're gonna want to use, you know, pretty nice material, I would imagine.
Yeah, you gotta get steel. You gotta make sure you get the right carbon content. You gotta
Yeah,
do all-
I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and I don't know
So-
if Irin has made stuff like that before. Guess I'm not sure what his background is that much in terms of specific items that he's crafted.
I've probably made some armor. I don't. Yeah, you know, I guess I haven't really thought about it.
Well, I think would ask, you know, Irin this in the night. It's like, could you do this?
Yeah, you know, I've made some armor. Armor's not necessarily my forte, or what I've done the most of. You know.
Yeah, and that's a special, you know, armoring, you know, and
I
weapons.
feel like
special skill.
Irin's definitely more of like a weapon, like a bladesmith. But he has made armor. He could make armor, you know.
So yeah, for Theo, it's either well, we're going to leave in the next day or two, or we're going to be here for 3 weeks while breastplate is made.
Right.
That's kind of where his head's going to be at.
Speaking of which, speaking of weapons, if we were to head south, we'd probably want to like stock up. Like, does the crew have like sets of weapons that they use?
They probably have a short sword available to them.
Okay.
You know,
So
they would have some weapons, some knives, some short swords.
We kept all those crossbows.
Yeah, you guys have a bunch of
I have a
weapons.
crossbow I hardly ever use that I would be willing to give to somebody.
Well, we snagged a bunch of crossbows from the
pirates.
smugglers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Snake Eyes and the boys.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Rhunar got, flashbacks of attacks at sea from pirates.
Yeah.
Theo has them too. Don't worry.
There's a little bit of back and forth with ballistas, and then it's the planks come down, and you have a bunch of dudes running onto your boat.
Yeah, and the trip to Narisban, just looking at it on the map,
It's huge.
Yeah,
it's like I think
it's a
further than
long
like
ways.
Iron Gate. So if we're taking off from Narisban, which is on the literal,
It's halfway across the world.
miles,
Yeah,
that is a commitment of time and resources.
Yep.
It's not something we should just decide to take off on a whim.
Also, probably not a direct. You're probably going to stop at a number of places along the way to resupply.
I mean the soul of, or I'm sorry, the Emperor of the Waves was on its way, so it was in Saltmarsh, and then it left, for Narisban. So, boats do leave Saltmarsh for that area, but I mentioned it takes a while.
The Emperor of the Waves might not be the best example, given the fact that it's
Given its ultimate fate.
Yeah.
If we're going to do that, we should probably ask around and stock up on goods to take to sell along the way, because we're going to have to pay all of these sailors, as we go.
We may want to disguise our purpose.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
at that point we're a trading vessel. Let's
Right.
get stuff to trade so we can also make enough money to pay for Du Bois. Because I like Du Bois, but I've only got so much money. I don't know about everybody else.
So
I spent a lot of it on Shield.
it may be a good idea to ask around. I guess, I don't know. Find some trade. Book a job that has us take some things to Narisban. I don't know.
Yeah. The question I'd have, and this is directed at you, Dave, oh great DM. Are there maps available for the trade routes towards that direction? Like, I can look at the overworld.
I was going by that.
It's blah, but I don't know if the characters have access to these maps.
maps like that exist. You'd have to track them down. You'd have to ask around and find them. What you guys have been able to acquire so far have been local maps of the Bay of Javon, which is where like Seaton and Saltmarsh. You probably have enough of the charts to get to Monmerg.
Maps with maybe like 2 weeks of travel tops.
Right, but Monmerg, and then probably north around the up to like Split Rock, in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, it's sort of the vast blue at this point. But those types of maps exist.
So yeah, that's if we're going to make the jump to Narisban, we're going to spend a little bit of time prepping for that.
Yeah.
We may even, looking at the map, it's like we may want to go to some larger towns like Monmerg or Red Shore, or maybe even, I don't know if Seaton's technically that much bigger.
Seaton's a little bit bigger, but it's mainly a military installation. Less of a town.
What would we know about Red Shore?
As a sailor, you'd probably know that it's like a stopover point for travel around the coast. There's.
Is it bigger than Saltmarsh?
It's a little bit bigger than Saltmarsh, but not a lot bigger.
Okay.
It is more. There's less of like the agrarian landscape, and it's definitely like a stronghold type port town, where it's like everything revolves around shipping. People stop in to resupply or to, how should I say that? Resupply basically.
It's the type of place that
Or a safe port, like a safe harbor type of thing, in case the seas are rough.
Might have more maps in the event we can't find them in Saltmarsh.
There would be more diversity in terms of the farther so you guys are kind of in this weird backwater area. So the farther you get north, into some of those coastal towns, you'd start finding a little bit more diversity of people and things. Same with like Monmurg is big. Monmurg is a larger city that some of you may or may not know about. Depends on your
I
backgrounds.
imagine Theo is at least aware of it, and he points on a map, goes, "Yeah, I know what that is. Maybe I stopped there once."
Mm-hmm.
If Monmurg's the bigger town, that's kind of the direction we'd need to go. So, if we're going to make for Narisbin, that's probably where we'd want to head. Pick up what we can here in Saltmarsh to trade and pay the way through Red Shore, through Monmurg, and then try and find better maps and better trade goods in Monmurg, and hope the Sea Princes are okay with us.
Did we ever have, we had leftover stuff from when we captured the boat, right?
Yep, you returned a bunch of stuff to the dwarves. Their mining equipment, brandy barrels.
But there was
a bunch of silk.
leftover?
There's a bunch of rolls of silk, and there was a bunch of wine barrels.
Yeah, so we do have some things to trade already. I think we could definitely do more. But we have this silk and this wine.
Yeah, you have space in the cargo hold for sure.
Yeah.
So would everyone be down with provided nothing goes horribly weird at the meeting, the ceremony and after, we'll plan to try and stock up and actually make sail in the direction of Narisbin as is reasonable and making stops along the way, or do we want to try something
Yeah.
else?
I mean, I'm definitely open to shipping out because I'm just, unless we want to just like, I don't know how much more there is to learn right now about Dralian and what happened to him. I guess we didn't discover much more this time, and either that or we stay in Saltmarsh and see what happens. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have a third option.
Yeah.
Like,
Blow it all up?
how many weeks sailing is Gradsul?
A little over a week, probably.
So that's only 1 week. So we could sail there. That's a big city. We're gonna find all the maps we're gonna want.
A lot of
I
armor.
have connections
There might be
there.
armor there.
There's probably armor. It's a big city.
He
Yeah.
has 12 siblings there.
We only need to stop in, get what we need, and get out. Like,
I guess my fear in going north would be like it's never that simple. Like, we might get pulled into something different.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
we're
we are
adventurers,
on a
that's what
mission.
we do.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
but
if we're just going to Gradsul, would be one thing, but we have a purpose.
but at the same time, I guess this would be a question for Byron. Would your people in the Seeker's Lodge be able to help us figure out this journal faster?
Well,
Would it be worth going that all? I mean, that's a ways that we might. It's a long ways north.
Right. Right.
And
But
a lot of stuff might happen on the way there. And if we get there and then it only means that we have to then turn around and do our true mission back to the south to Narisbin to follow up on what he was involved in, like, it just makes me wonder if it's worth going all that ways. You know what I mean?
right. I mean, hypothetically speaking, we might find more clues in the journal in the week that we sail there.
I know. In which case, maybe we just sail south, and because that might take weeks.
Right, but I mean, if we don't have a source of maps and stuff,
Yeah.
sources from a big city.
Right. Well, maybe we don't need to go that far though to find that.
Right, yeah. I mean, Red Shore, Engelberg.
Yeah, it's not like the maps are super
Magical
rare.
item.
It's just yeah, right. It's just that it'd be hard to find something like that in Saltmarsh.
Yep.
It's hard to find.
Not
armor in
impossible,
Saltmarsh.
but
No, the Mariner's Guild would be a good place to start.
right. And
Yeah.
you have somebody that's going to procure armor for you. It just takes time.
That's true.
And may or may not come with hidden demons, literally.
Right.
I appreciate having that book of Iuz that randomly showed up just so I can have my character go, oh no, I know what Iuz is. Okay, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh-oh, we have a shield now.
Yes,
Do
you
you
do.
have a shield of Iuz?
That was like the perfect time for you to roll that natural 20, by the way. Irin. I don't know if you're still
Yes.
with us, but yeah, that was
Yes.
that was like the perfect timing.
Yeah.
Oh, so crazy. That's like Irin's death curse.
Yep.
I still don't really know what it is.
I don't either. I'm not even
Yeah.
sure what triggers it, except I know it's
That makes
20.
4 of us.
It's your
like,
Tia's
I'd
brother.
love to dig in more on that, but I'm not even sure where to begin with that for you guys.
Irin's dealing with a lot of trauma.
Mhm.
So either way, I think we can safely say our next move is we're going to attend a ceremony, and then we're going to try and find the things we need to get out of town successfully, either towards eventually, straight, starting on the trek south, or, with a detour north for potential resources, and then eventually south.
Right.
Yeah, like I really don't want to go to Gradzul, but I mean, you make a strong case for reasons why we probably should go to Gradzul.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at least literally that's where Theo's from, so he will
Yeah.
have connections there that may or may not be able to come into play and help.
Yeah.
So
And I can ask the Seekers. They were willing to fund an expedition down there where we're talking like multiple boats. We're talking landing shore parties, miniature hand-built villages,
Wait, what?
trade goods. It's like a city.
Well, they were willing to fund Dralian to do all
That's
that.
true.
But what if we go up there and they're like, "Oh, thanks for the information. See you later."
Wait, willing to or already did?
They funded
They
Dralian.
funded Dralian.
Yeah.
To-
So there's an expedition that's happened.
Yeah, to fund an expedition to Amadio. So, Dralian sent money and the map and stuff on the Emperor of Waves to Solana. So, if we go to Gradzul, I guess my fear is that they'll be like, they might be able to help us decipher the journal, but then everything the journal says might lead us south.
well, I think
Anyway.
we're going to lead south.
It's gonna
Right.
lead us south anyways.
The valid argument would be we could go there and be like, so we found out we don't know who killed him, but we got some suspicions, but we think
Yeah.
following the trail of what's going on is the best way to do it. You are willing to sponsor you're willing to sponsor an expedition already. We're just asking for you to sponsor us with enough gold or trade goods for us to get there and continue the investigation. I think
Maybe
that's where Byron's going.
Maybe we go to them last. Like maybe
Yeah.
we dig around town and figure out what the things that we need or can get, and maybe even try to find somebody else who could help us maybe get into that box, cube, thing, whatever the fuck it is, and then go to them
Let's
last.
say we get into the box that, like straight up, that if it was a 9th level or lower spell effect on it, Theo would have cracked it open with that roll.
Right? No, I
there's
mean I
something
get
about that.
mechanically I get how it works, but
Like maybe there's nothing in the box, and maybe the box is the item.
That's thing. It's
of
like at
itself.
this point, I'm leaning towards it's not that there's something in the box; it's that the box itself is. Hold
So-
on.
I mean,
Hold
Maybe
on.
it's not even a box. Maybe
Hold,
no.
hold up. My brain has just processed the correct wires. So what we're saying, the box was on the Emperor of the Waves, right?
Yes.
Yep.
The Emperor of the Waves was loaded with things that Dralian had and
Mhm.
was shipping to Solana in Narisban.
Yes.
So the box thing is a known quantity that Dralian knew about, which means that the Seekers probably knew about it.
Yes.
Fuck,
Possibly.
they're our best lead for the box.
Right, but I don't disagree with you, but I'm also saying like the entanglements that we might find ourselves in with the seekers might be more hindrance
Right.
than helpful.
Yeah. Well,
So
the
if we
Seekers wanna-
can find out and get stuff done away from them as much as possible, that might be a better choice. And then
I
go
mean-
to them, like I said, go to them last. Like if we can find somebody aside from them who can help us figure out this box, like a real wizard or whatever, an artificer, I don't know. Maybe there's a dwarven mage I can
Maybe
make
like
friends
that wizard
with,
in town we haven't talked to yet.
or the wizard in town, like, and then be like, okay, we also need these things. Let's go to them last. Like, oh hey, we're in town. I don't know. It's just a cautious
Well, there's
conspiracy
yeah.
mind of myself, you know.
Well, it's not really conspiracy because both Byron and Theo would know that once you get into a place like Gradzul, there's a lot of politics going on, there's a lot of things in play, even within an organization, right?
Well, right. I'm just saying, given the nature of a secret society and secret expeditions, that's a conspiracy.
I'm thinking if we showed anybody else that box, they'd try to take it from us.
Yeah.
You know,
And I feel like
so
the
we have to
Seekers
find a wizard
probably already
who's not
know about
too
The Seekers
powerful.
included. And even if we show a wizard the box, it might be a risk. But
Yeah.
I
a
think
wizard might be able to help us decipher the whole journal.
any
because
wizard
none of us
hiding
are,
in
have
Saltmarsh
intelligence to do it.
is a wizard that has a very different agenda and most likely includes being left alone and out of things. So I
Right.
think he's probably actually the safest wizard we can talk to.
Yeah.
We do have a bargaining chip with that spell book that none of us has use for. Maybe
True.
he might like something like that.
If we're not gonna go deal with the Seekers in Gradzul and we want to talk to a wizard about it, that's our option in town.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's
So
a good
Yeah.
idea.
that's fine. From a player perspective, I'm totally okay going to Gradzul just because, hey, it'll be a fun set of stories.
Right.
Mhm.
But I'm also totally okay as a player going, now we'll just do it on our own and go. Which is why I kind of go back and forth on it.
Yeah, I'm actually for either too.
Yeah, either option will be fun.
Just pitching Gradzul because I was like, the Seekers probably know how to open this box. In
Or they might
I would assume.
know what it is.
My money is on it probably came from the Seekers. They probably know what it is already.
Right. And if it's and my
And if-
theory also is that like he said he sent his fortune and the map fragment, right?
Yeah.
We have the map fragment already in our hands.
No,
So this could
Not
be the
necessarily.
fortune.
What do we have the map
Do
fragment?
we have a
don't
map
know we have
fragment?
that.
Does anyone have a map fragment? I do not have a map fragment.
Okay, Rhunar has a map fragment, but he got it from a completely different boat. So I have a map fragment, but I got it from the
You got it from the
what was the name of the boat again?
The Black Trident.
The
yeah,
Black
the
Trident.
You took it off
So-
of Charlotte Volchek's body, I believe.
Volchek, yeah.
So there's
Oh.
rumor that there are pirates out there that have fragments to this same map.
which is in the journal, like in
Yeah.
Dralian's journal, it says,
Yeah, Matreus's map.
yeah,
So,
there are fragments within
yeah.
the pirate holds.
What I have might be a fragment of that same map, but it's not the map fragment that Dralian sent on the Emperor of the Waves to Solana. And
Right.
what I realized, what I didn't realize this earlier when I was talking about it with you guys, but the Emperor of the Waves never made it to Solana. So he never got the map fragment, as far as I know.
That's the thing. Solana and the Griffin Wing are out there completely in the wind, and we don't
But-
know where they are, what happened to them.
But their task was to collect other fragments.
So they're
So
potentially
here's-
just out there trying to do their job and don't know anything's happened.
So here's a question that maybe Byron would like. If this box is some kind of box that has stuff in it, presumably Solana would have known how to open it,
Yes.
but also presumably Dralian would have had a way to open it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely.
So is there possibly some kind of like super secret magic key at Dralian's place
Like it's like
that we need to find?
That's why Theo took the skull. He was like, maybe this is the key.
Right. No, yeah. Yeah.
Like, is it like a super high priority mail system?
Well, oh man. So thinking about it, like when I busted in, I stole his office, his hidden office. Like I
Yeah,
left behind
like all his papers, all his
almost nothing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like I left behind a few books, but then you saw those books. None of those were taken when the second break-in happened either.
You know,
'Cause
we
he had
haven't
already
tried
gotten it.
interacting together yet, guys. The magic sword and the box.
That's true.
That's true. We also haven't dug up his fucking body.
But why
Maybe
would
let's
he?
that.
Why would he send a box to Solana that needed the sword to open it
Yeah. Well,
when he had
just
the sword?
because it needed the sword to open it doesn't mean it also didn't need a different thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
If the sword, for some reason, is a key, that doesn't mean there's not another key that Solana would have, or a way that Solana would have to open it. You know?
Maybe
Right.
literally we're gonna get to like chapter
Can-
22, and it's gonna say
Say
blue
Tamoa-chan.
If you walk around the
No,
box
he's already tried that.
we already tried it?
counterclockwise. Yes.
Say Solana.
If you walk around the box counterclockwise 6 times, and then clockwise 4 times, and then back counterclockwise 16 times, the box will open.
Or it's just shave and a haircut or whatever that the little
Right?
knocking pad.
You have to have a barber come to the box.
Da, 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 da. And it opens right up.
Yeah.
Uh
Awesome. I'm gonna go to bed.
okay.
I'm gonna go crush some iron in the morning. So
All right, y'all.
Oh, badass.
Nice
Well,
session.
it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
As
was
usual.
Did not think you're going to the Quartermasters of Iuz.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Got
One
a
thing I'm learning
sweet
about
shield out of it.
is he's very much a don't do this, it's a terrible idea. Don't do this, it's a terrible idea. Guys, you shouldn't
Let's
do
do
that.
this.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
He's really good at giving advice out, terrible at following it.
That's funny.
We did discover a whole nother part of town though.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we've never been to.
Yeah. You got some new items, met some new people, had some tense conversations with the authorities. Uh-huh.
yeah.
I wrote a song about
Got a
Dig,
bag
and
of
I'm not even a
tricks.
bard.
Yeah.
By the way,
Well-
the bag of tricks is amazing because it doesn't run out of charges. You can only use it 3 times a day.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
that's quite
It's way better than a fucking. What's the
That
cloak?
might seriously come. I looked at the list of animals. That might seriously come in handy.
yeah.
Because you can
Cloak.
command them.
It's
Is that what it
ridiculous.
is?
It's
You can command them to do things for
yeah,
you.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And there's like a
Now, one of
fucking
them's a bear.
dire badger and
One of
ape.
them's like a like a tiger.
It's
A
a murder
tiger.
bird.
A tiger is no
murderback.
problem. Dire
It's a-
badger? Fuck that. I'm out. Nope.
Yeah.
Not today.
Wait, didn't we get that as a a journal entry? I thought we did.
The Dire Badger?
No, the description of the bag. Oh, there it is. It's at the top. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
We
it's Michael posted it in our Discord chat, and I shared it into the Roll20 chat.
We got the tan bag, so it's a D8, and then 1 through 8. It's jackal, ape, baboon, axebeak, black bear, giant weasel, giant hyena, tiger.
Axebeak is huge. Those things are fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
that's the thing that emus have evolved down from. They're actually like it's a Pleistocene mega fauna.
So roll a 4.
You see in museums. It's on the list of things I have in my setting because I like Pleistocene megafauna. So I'm like, yes, terror bird, which is what it was actually called for the record. I was like, what is that for it? Oh, there's an axebeak already. Never mind, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Giant hyena. Sounds crazy.
As someone who plays with a woman who enjoys playing a Circle of the Moon druid, giant hyenas are really competent in combat.
Yeah, they're like 20th level rogues.
Any kind of bear.
Hyenas will sneak into your village and drag people out of their houses.
Yeah,
A tiger.
They don't fuck around.
An 8? You could get a tiger.
They'll laugh the whole time.
Tigers are cool.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous magic item, but that's what you rolled.
That's what we rolled.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's sign off here. We'll pick up next week.
All right.
We got a ceremony to attend and a ballista to install.
You better have the closing music from Star Wars.
A New Hope.
Queued up.
Yeah.
Queued up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be great.
Yeah. Am I gonna get a medal? Rhunar wants a medal.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Get Rhunar a medal made.
Okay. All right.
Oh, they do have it on YouTube.
No. I'm leaving. Good day, sir.
Good day, I say.
Later, guys.
Later.
All right. Good night, everybody.